33%. Chapter 161 Dakan Empire, 100,000 Civilizations. End this competition area as soon as possible. Subscription. Chaos Disaster. In addition to the natural disaster brought by the real demon from the warp to the hexy where the player is located, there is another natural disaster. That is a natural disaster caused by the players who belong to the Chaos Demon. These players who are attached to the Chaos Demon will have a sharp increase in their civilization strength. After all, they use the power from the evil demon. And the goals of these players who are attached to chaos will of course become destruction. Bring chaos to the river system they are in, complete chaos. After completing the tasks issued to them by the evil gods they belong to, the players who belong to the demons could soar. The soaring mentioned here is to ascend to the devil on the spot, become a god's choice, or a devil prince, and then enter the warp. Completely transformed into a warp demon. As for the player who appeared now, who was attached to the evil god Tzeentch, it was obvious that his body had already partially deformed. The head turned into a bird peck with colorful feathers, and colorful scale wings were born on the back. Colorful feathers and colored scales usually represent the followers of Tzeentch. This also means that he has completed most of Tzeentch's tasks and received a lot of rewards and blessings from Tzeentch. Some of these blessings are physical aberrations, and some are the power of technology. And this also allowed the player to successfully enter the 4th level civilization. It is not an exaggeration, the evil god Chen Qi is one of the 4 great evil gods in the universe. He claims to possess endless knowledge, and the 1 part in a billion that leaks out of his fingers is enough to create a complete 5th level civilization. It would be better to say that this player did not work hard, and now he has just entered the 4th level elementary civilization. Cause chaos, please my god Tzeentch, and get more blessings. The Tzeentch follower player looked at the star map of the competition area in front of him, the bird pecked slightly, and there was a glint in his eyes. At the same time, some other players who participated in the competition and attached to the evil gods also got their own tasks. Korn wants players to kill and kill as much as they want. Nurgle wants the player to spread the plague, the virus. Sex abuse requires players to create extreme pain and feel the ultimate joy in the extreme pain. Well, such a Virgo supercluster, which covers 2,500 river system level galaxies, has gathered 4 followers of the 4 evil gods at this moment. Just when these 4 players who believed in the 4 evil gods were about to set off a bloody storm in this competition area with a diameter of 500 light years. Qin Sheng, on the other side, has already started packing. Transfer all the population, buildings, factories, etc. to 25 planetary stars. The 25 planetary battle stars were originally battle planets, but Qin Sheng completed the interior renovation long ago, turning most of the interior areas into living quarters. After all, it has to accommodate the entire population of more than 800 billion in the Qin Empire. In terms of combat, Qin Sheng has 4 neutron battle stars and 12 million battleships of various levels, and does not need the combat power of these 25 battle stars. However, although these 25 planetary-level battle stars have become movable living planets, they have withdrawn from the first-line battle sequence of the Dakan Empire. But the surface of the battle star still has heavy armor and a large number of weapons and equipment for self-protection. All the actions of the tactical dolls are orderly and proceed extremely quickly. After the official start of the game, each player civilization has 10 days to prepare. In this preparation phase, no one can attack each other. 1. After 10 days, the war between civilizations will officially begin. 1. There are 2 ways to win. 1. Destroy all participating civilizations except your own civilization and become the final winner. 2. Occupy the champion reward planet in the center of the competition area, and hold on until the Stargate opens, and then enter the Stargate with the champion reward and successfully evacuate. After the final winner is decided in this division, if the other divisions are not over, and the winner wants more rewards, they can freely choose other divisions, become an extra system invasion natural disaster, and go to snatch the rewards. 1. This is it. Qin Sheng's eyes flickered, and he looked at the last sentence. What he wants is this mechanism. After the current competition area is over, if other competition areas have not ended, then he can incarnate into an extra system invasion natural disaster, and freely choose other competition areas to grab new rewards. Qin Sheng doesn't care about the competition reward at all. What he cares about is the transmission mechanism of the system once again, instantaneously spanning the distance of countless light years. According to some memories of Qin Sheng's previous life, generally a competition area lasts for a long time. The fastest, after a year of fighting, was the most intense and cruel competition area, where tens of thousands of players fought for 100 years. Extremely cruel. In his previous life, Qin Sheng didn't care about this civilization competition, but because of this, he understood. And this time, Qin Sheng is ready to end the civilization competition in the current division with the fastest speed. Point 0. At the very center of the entire competition area, the stargate of the planetary system where the champion reward planet is located takes a year to open. That is, the second victory condition takes a year. Qin Sheng is not prepared to wait a year. He, choose the first victory condition. Destroy all player civilizations except your own civilization. Qin Sheng, ask for 50,000. Chaos, darkness, filled with countless thoughts and emotions, within a warp that will be completely polluted and swallowed at a glance. The 4 great demons representing the 4 evil gods gathered together. These 4 great demons are all chaos great demons within the Virgo Transcendent Star Cluster. They are the chosen demons of their respective galaxy groups. From the Ursa Major Galaxy Group, Tzeentch's choice, the 5th level demon, Rockefeller. Corn God's choice from the Leo Galaxy Group, the 5th level demon, Al Rudolph. Slaanesha's chosen from the Canis Venetian Group, the 5th level archon, Bellamy Tracy. Nurgle's choice from the Doradus Galaxy Group, the 5th level demon, Gogolos. The players they have chosen have already entered the competition area. This was supposed to be a meeting to discuss matters, but at this moment, it turned into a gathering where the 4 God-chosen great demons were hostile, provocative, and fighting each other. The 4 gods are not pleasing to each other. This has been going on for countless years. 33%. Chapter 162 The Neutron War starfires and clears all civilizations. Subscription. Stop talking nonsense. Let's get straight to the point. The Virgo Galaxy Cluster, after we have successfully entered, how should we divide it? 1. The 5th level Corn Demon, Al Rudolph's Crimson Demon eyes swept the other 3 evil gods left and right, and a loud snort came out of his nasal cavity. He, the 8 characters haven't been written yet, you stupid bullhead, just thinking about dividing the territory. Slaanesh Bellamy's slender fingers covered her lips, and she let out a tender chuckle. Girls, try again. On top of the huge bullhead of Aller Rudolph, 8 dense horns rose to the sky, and his blood-red eyes glared at Bellamy Tracy. Oh, you are angry when people just say a word to you. Instead of venting all your energy on killing, why don't you come and do something interesting with others? In a flash, Bellamy Tracy came to Aller Rudolph's 550 and stretched out a finger to touch Aller Rudolph. But Al Rudolph seemed extremely reluctant to be touched by something disgusting. While dodging, he directly picked up the giant axe and slashed it. Bitch, get out of here. Ouch, so impolite, so inelegant. 1. Flashing once again, Bellamy Tracy reappeared in her original position. Hey. Tzeentch, Rockefeller's bird pecked slightly, and let out a wicked smile. I don't care how you divide it, and I don't care about the site. I just need to be able to study the new plague bacteria with peace of mind. The rest, you come. At this time, the great demon of Nurgle, Gogolos spoke, and as soon as he spoke, the disease was swollen, and the rotting flesh fell from the huge face, and then grew again. The sub-site they are talking about is the site in the head cluster of the sub-Virgo Galaxy Cluster. All along, these 4 Chaos Great Demons have wanted to get their hands on the major galaxies in the Virgo Galaxy Cluster headquarters. However, within the Virgo Galaxy Cluster, many 5th-level civilizations have joined forces to form a line of defense. They are strictly guarded against these Chaos Great Demons. Moreover, many 5th-level civilizations have joined forces to form an alliance of thinkers. Through the civilization and ethics benchmarking system, all the low-level civilizations below the 4th level in the entire Virgo Galaxy Cluster have set an ideological steel seal of defense. All warp effects on lower civilizations are blocked. Prevent any chaotic thoughts, warp contamination from entering the Virgo Cluster. Under such circumstances, it is very difficult for the 4 Chaos Great Demons to spread chaos into it. The 4 Chaos Demons have been at a standoff for hundreds of thousands of years with the alliance of thinkers united by many 5th-level civilizations in the Virgo Galaxy Cluster. In these hundreds of thousands of years, they have tried countless times to encroach on the Virgo star cluster, but they have all failed. And now, the civilization tournament has begun. Let them see an opportunity. A great opportunity to invade the Virgo star cluster. So, they sent players who belong to them to participate. Finally, the forces representing chaos stepped into the Virgo star cluster for the first time. Now, the invasion has just begun, and the great demon of corn, Al Rudolph, is thinking of dividing the territory. I represent one of the four gods, the strongest evil god corn. I want half of the entire Virgo star cluster, it's not too much. Al Rudolph held a blood-red demon axe in his hand, snorted arrogantly above the head of the bull, and said, "The strongest. Ha 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 ha, Aller Rudolph, how dare you say that? Be careful, those little guys who are optimistic about you, don't be the first to be eliminated by others in the competition area." Zinch the great demon Rockefeller smiled heehily, with a treacherous light in his eyes. "Wipe out, damn treacherous villain, is there any new conspiracy in your heart? 1 inch. If you have the ability, come and fight with me now." Aller Rudolph roared at Rockefeller. "Hey, have a fight with you? How is this possible? I'm just a little servant serving my Lord Zinch. 1. How can you beat Korn, the champion of the Ursa Major Galaxy Group, Al Rudolph?" The Rockefeller bird pecked slightly, and said yin and yang strangely. But obviously, Al Rudolph didn't hear the yin and yang strangeness in it, but raised his head arrogantly, and charged with 8 horns. "You know it's good. Stupid stuff. I didn't want to compete with you for a Virgo star cluster." 1. Rockefeller snickered in his heart, thinking to himself. Rockefeller had a plan in his heart, and he had already given orders to the players he had chosen. Let it destroy other hidden players, all other God-chosen players. In this way, when this competition area ends, the player selected by him will become the only Chaos Force Zero to enter the Virgo star cluster. Then in the Virgo constellation map, spread the brilliance of Zinch. Let the Virgo cluster bathe in Zinch's light. And Rockefeller stayed in the Virgo star cluster. He also already knew that the winner of this special competition would have always had special rights. That is to teleport directly to other competition areas, to other superclusters. As long as the players he chooses can win all the way, then he can spread the brilliance of Zinch in more super galaxy clusters. Look what a grand journey. Rockefeller seemed to have seen that the entire Laniakea supercluster complex would be bathed in Zinch's light in the future. He has even planned in his mind a galaxy route for spreading chaos thoughts along the way. There is no concept of time in the warp. Just when Rockefeller was planning all this, in the real universe, in the Virgo galaxy cluster competition area, 10 days of preparation time have passed. Qin Sheng has also placed the entire population of more than 800 billion tactical humanoid girl races in 25 planetary-level battle stars. Everything is ready. The limitation of civilizations going to war with each other has disappeared. Neutron battle star ready. Aim for the galaxies of the 4 closest players to us. Ready to launch. The galaxy where Qin Sheng is located is a light year away from the interior of the galaxy. Zinch follower 5.2 players have also prepared the entire fleet. Get ready to go and destroy other player civilizations. Fleet of the 4th level elementary civilization, how can these poor battleships of these ignorant players stop me who is blessed by Zinch? The Zinch follower player laughed. Yet at this time, a huge beam of light that cut through the entire space, as if dividing the space into upper and lower halves, arrived instantly. In an instant, it runs through the entire planetary system. The terrifying main gun with a range of more than 120 light-years of neutron battle star opened fire. In an instant, the planet where the Zinch follower player was unaware of, after the beam passed by, turned into nothingness. The first kill announcement in the competition area, the Dakan Empire from the Fairy Galaxy Group eliminated the Evans civilization from the Ursa Major Galaxy Group. In the warp, Rockefeller's eyes widened instantly, and the birds pecked wide, horrified. 34%. Chapter 163 All stars except myself are destroyed. Subscription. Evans civilization. Alla Rudolph was stunned at first. He didn't expect that civilization would be eliminated so quickly, and then he felt that the name of this civilization sounded familiar. Touching his chin and thinking for a while, then he looked at Rockefeller and burst out laughing. Ha 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 ha, if I remember correctly, this Evans civilization was chosen by you, Rockefeller, right? Facing Aller Rudolph's unbridled ridicule, Rockefeller was still in shock and did not recover. How is this possible? I have clearly given Evans the technological knowledge of the 4th level civilization. 1. In addition, there is a blessing from my god Zinch. Although this blessing is only 100 millionth of the effect of the real blessing, it is more than enough to deal with ordinary 4th level civilization. How could it be wiped out the moment the war started? And it is completely complete. Without leaving a trace, it was wiped out. Rockefeller couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure out how this could happen. It's not that he didn't doubt the other three demons, that they did it, but this is simply impossible. He knew the strength of the other three demons, and he knew it clearly. The player they selected could not have this kind of strength. Could it be that the union of thinkers of the Virgo cluster has taken action? No, it's impossible. Although this competition area does not know what kind of civilization is holding the competition for civilization hegemony, it is clear that the organizer has great power. The League of Thinkers cannot enter this area either. 1. Damn, all traces of the players I selected in this competition area have been erased, and now I can't even put my mind down to check it out. Rockefeller had no choice but to rack his brains and ponder over here. But there was one thing that impressed him. That is, the Great Qin Empire. After such an incident, the 4 words of the Great Qin Empire have been deeply imprinted in Rockefeller's memory. The Great Qin Empire from the Fairy Galaxy Group. Rockefeller gritted his teeth with hatred. At this time, Rockefeller also found something related to the Fairy Galaxy Group in his long-term memory. Soon, Rockefeller retrieved a name. Peach, the Milky Way's Xianqi God's Choice, the 5th level Great Demon, Bai Dao. Damn it, Bai Dao, this stupid thing, has not heard from him since he disappeared inexplicably 190 million years ago. The Milky Way has not had a new chosen demon for such a long time. It is really a remote place, and it is worthy of the blessing of my lord. 1. Rockefeller found a breakthrough point and left the current warp with a curse. Go to find more and more detailed information about the Milky Way, and the information about the Dakan Empire. When Aller Rudolph saw Rockefeller leave, he couldn't be more happy in his heart, and immediately laughed. Ha 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 ha, Rockefeller is a fool who plays tricks and tricks all day long. Now it's finally his turn to be deflated. Ha 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 ha. It seems that the player that this guy chose is not very strong, and he was directly eliminated at the moment of the war. It's not like me. Anyone who believes in our Lord Korn must be a warrior with extraordinary strength. Fighting madman, never back down. Aller Rudolph laughed wildly. Announcement from the competition area. The Dakan Empire from the Fairy Galaxy Group has wiped out the Nuolong Bayan civilization. Aller Rudolph was dumbfounded, because this Nuolong Bayan civilization is the player civilization he chose. What? The entire surrounding warp area resounded with Al Rudolph's shocked roar. How long has it been? How come the civilization one chose was also wiped out? Al Rudolph roared angrily, and then cast his angry eyes on Gagaroth, the great demon of Nurgle. Angrily said to him, "Damn fat man, are you a ghost? Did you secretly release some kind of plague that wiped out the civilization one chose in an instant?" Goggolos turned yellow. His diseased eyeballs looked at Al Rudolph, and said, "What does this have to do with me? The civilization one chooses hundreds of light years away from the civilization you choose. They don't have the ability to instantly drop a viral plague over a distance of hundreds of light years." Al Rudolph spit out a bloody breath from his nose, and he is very angry now. Incomparable anger. Right now, he just wants to find someone to fight, and only frantically cutting off some heads can ease his anger. Something's not right. 2 magic civilizations in a row were wiped out in an instant. This Dakan Empire is tricky. 1. Slanesh Bellamy's beautiful eyes flowed, thinking in her heart. Afterwards, he issued his will to the civilization he chose and still survived. To contact the Great Qin Empire, and then use the power of joy to corrupt it. At this moment, in the competition area with a diameter of 500 light years, the constant system announcement sounded. Almost every minute or so, there will be 4 consecutive system announcements that civilization has been completely destroyed and extinct. The contestants listened to the system announcements, which seemed to be a steady stream, all of them. What happened? What kind of civilization is this Dakan Empire? What weapons do they have? How could it be so awesome? The 4 neutron war stars of the Dakan Empire faced 4 general directions and began to aim at the stars and stars outside the galaxy. Charge up, then, fire the main gun. Qin Sheng didn't know the specific locations of other players, but with the density of civilizations in the competition area, almost every star and every planet had player civilization. Need to know this. Directly destroy all the stars and planets except the galaxy where you are, right? Now, in less than 20 minutes, hundreds of civilizations have already been completely destroyed by the neutron battle star of the Great Qin Empire. The system announced that the Dakan Empire has destroyed the most civilizations, and has now become the champion civilization in the current competition area. The position of the champion civilization will be displayed on the star map of the entire competition area. If you destroy the champion civilization, you will get a lot of post-match rewards. Qin Sheng didn't care when he heard this announcement. After all, in his opinion, the more than 50,000 civilizations in this competition area, everyone here, are all spicy chickens. 34%. Chapter 164. Slanesh, who intends to tempt the Emperor of Qin. Subscribe. The vastness, the chaos, does not belong to the subspace of the real three-dimensional universe. Rockefeller managed to find Tzeentch, who had been to the galaxy. The fourth-level Tzeentch demon, Tartarus. Tartaros. Have you been to the Milky Way? When Rockefeller came, it was a questioning speech. Milky Way. Tartaros was shocked, and he was a little panicked. Could it be that he accidentally released the sixth-level thinking plague in the galaxy, attacked the Korn forces, angered the Valkyrie of Korn Valkyrie, and caused the large-scale war of gods between the two sides of Korn and Nurgle to be discovered in the warp? At that time, I wanted to run away with Iroha's wings on my back. However, the eyes above the Rockefeller bird's peck only shone slightly, and an unparalleled powerful psionic power enveloped the huge body of Tartaros for hundreds of kilometers. Unlike Tartaro's huge body that can travel hundreds of kilometers, Rockefeller was only less than 20 meters tall. It looks very small. However, with such a small body, Tartaros couldn't move at all. What are you worried about? Behind Rockefeller's back, Kalen's four wings trembled slightly, and the bird pecked slightly and asked, "Is it about Korn and Nurgle? Do you really think it's because of you? Don't dream. Those are all great oracles. The handwriting behind the back of Lord Carlos, what does it have to do with you?" Rockefeller sneered, and Tartaros immediately relaxed when he heard the words. There was a humane smile on the bird peck, and the huge body of hundreds of kilometers fell down, looking humbly at Rockefeller, who was only 20 meters tall. His eyes were full of flattery. "I ask you, do you know of a civilization called the Great Qin Empire?" Rockefeller rode. The Great Qin Empire. Tartaros was shocked when he heard the words, and immediately gritted his teeth. "I know, of course I know. Because of this Great Qin Empire, my plan to occupy the Milky Way failed, and I even lost the body of the three-dimensional universe in reality. I can only be forced to dormant in the warp, waiting for a better time." When talking about the Great Qin Empire, Tartaros hated it in his heart. Rockefeller nodded slightly, and took a look at the civilization of the Dakan Empire. The ability to make a fourth-level peak Tzeentch Great Demon not enter the real universe is indeed amazing. Now, tell me everything you know about the Great Qin Empire. Understand. Later, Tartarus began to tell Rockefeller everything he knew about the Qin Empire. When he said that the Great Qin Empire had 4 neutron war stars, Rockefeller's eyes widened and he said in shock, "Neutron war stars? 1. And more than 1, or 4. The Qin Empire is just a 4th-level civilization, right? Although it is a 4th-level peak civilization, it is impossible for them to have the ability to create 4 neutron battle stars, 1 neutron battle star, and ordinary 4th-level peak civilizations can't be built well for thousands of years. This Dakan Empire is a player civilization. It only appeared in the Milky Way 10 years ago. How could it have 4 neutron battle stars?" Rockefeller didn't understand at all. Even if he was picking up junk and exploring ruins in the universe, he couldn't have 4 neutron battle stars all at once. How did the Qin Empire do it? Rockefeller worriedly returned to the warp area where the meeting was held. As soon as he came, a flying axe slashed towards him. The powerful psychic shield blocked the flying axe in an instant. Rockefeller looked over. "I saw that the Great Demon of Korn, Al Rudolph, had already fought with the Great Demon of Nurgle, Gagaros. Okay. Stop fighting. Our plan is going to fail." Aura flashed in Rockefeller's eyes. The two psionic energy separated Al Rudolph and Gagalos in an instant. What? Al Rudolph still had his anger full at the moment and did not vent it, and his blood-red eyes suddenly looked at Rockefeller. "This Great Qin Empire, I know their details. A player civilization at the peak of the 4th level, with 4 neutron battle stars. 1. As soon as these words came out, the other 3 demons were shocked. What? 4 neutron battle stars? With this kind of combat power, it is no wonder that so many civilizations were destroyed in an instant. 1. With 4 neutron battle stars, even a 5th-level elementary civilization with an unstable scientific system has to avoid its edge. 1. This division is coming to an end. Quote. For a moment, the 4 demons present were all silent. However, although Shen Dai appeared on the surface, in fact, the minds of several demons were active. The great devil of Tzeentch, Rockefeller, was thinking about how to plan to make the Dakan Empire fall to the devil en masse and accept Tzeentch's brilliance. The great demon of Korn, Al Rudolph, felt that with such a powerful combat power, and it seemed that the great Qin Empire had a high desire to fight, it would be great if he could become a believer of his god Korn. The great demon of Nurgle, Gagaros, didn't care about anything. At this moment, in his heart, he could only research a new plague as soon as possible, so as to gain more favor from Nurgle. And Slaanesh, Belamides, has already begun to act. The planetary system where the Qin Empire is located. A fleet is leaping forward in the Li-Lihao transfer channel. It jumped 2 light years away from the planetary system of the Dakan Empire, and only the neutron war star destroyed all the planets, and there were still stars in the planetary system. This fleet is different from other fleets. The surface of the battleship is painted a very beautiful and bright pink. The pink surface of the battleship depicts countless unsightly and filthy things. There is no way to describe it in words. In short, it is the kind of thing that ordinary people look at and their thoughts will fall into the hell of joy. I can't describe it too carefully, or I won't pass the trial. This is a fleet of player civilizations that believe in Slaanesh. They're not very good names anyway, because these people are intersex. In short, their mission here was to contaminate the Emperor of the Qin Empire and make him fall into Slaanesh's hell of pleasure. Serve Slaanesh. 34%. Chapter 165 The Alliance of the 5th Level Civilization, The Alliance of Thinkers. Subscription. Slaanesh Fleet, Flagship, Bridge. A man, or, alternatively, a woman. Not a good name, because you can't tell a person's gender from their appearance. In fact, the gender of the person cannot be determined not only from the appearance, but also from the inside. This person sits on the command post of the bridge. The right half of his body is a woman, and the left half is a man. Very awkward. Not even up and down, but left and right. In short, it is called it in the third person for the time being. The front is the planetary system where the Qin Empire is located, right? It's really scary. It sat on the commanding post, surrounded by beauties, and seemed to be enjoying it immensely. Among all the surrounding planetary systems, there is basically only one star left. The planets here should be very dense, but at the moment they are empty. There is only one star floating in space. There is a little fear in its words. At this moment, it has initially felt how terrifying the strength of the great Qin Empire is. But soon those fears dissipated and ceased to exist. For it came 553 this time, with the oracle of the god of joy and happiness, Slaanesh. Not to attack the Dakan Empire, but to bring the Dakan Empire into that supremely fast country. It is extremely proud, and it also believes that when it meets the Emperor of Qin, the Emperor of Qin will definitely understand how happy it is to serve Slaanesh. Just as it confidently ordered the fleet to move on. Great Qin Empire Planetary System. A neutron battle star has just been launched once, but is soon ready to launch again. After charging, adjust the direction. Prepare to launch another attack. The target planetary system has been identified. Everything is ready. On the outer shell of the neutron battle star with an absolutely reflective mirror surface, a slightly sunken semicircular outline with a diameter of 800 meters radiates light. The light flickered, completely locked all the stars in a planetary system 100 light years away. Emission. In an instant, a huge, dazzling light flickered. This ray of light flew forward for a period of time incomparably fast, and then in the middle of the way, it instantly disappeared into the universe. It's like being truncated out of thin air ABFC. When it reappeared, it had already crossed a distance of hundreds of light years in an instant, and arrived at the target planetary system. Civilizations in the planetary system were completely unprepared and unresponsive to the sudden huge beam of light. The beam hits a planet in the planetary system. The next moment, the planet began to crack, disintegrate, and flashed its own brilliance in space. And all the defensive orbits around the planet, the defensive fleets floating in space, were radiated by this, and the energy that spread to the surrounding universe like a tsunami was swallowed up and instantly destroyed. Another civilization was completely destroyed by the neutron war star of the Dakan Empire without any preparation. After destroying this civilization's planet, the neutron war star turned to look for its next target. Cold and ruthless. And 1 light year away from the planetary system of the Dakan Empire, the Slaanesh believer fleet was still advancing. Even their fleet just passed by the beam that flew past in an instant. Just when they sighed, another civilization was destroyed by the evil hands of the great Qin Empire. The system announced that the Dakan Empire from the Andromeda Milky Way galaxy group destroyed the Cirx civilization from the Canis Veneer galaxy group. All Slaanesh believers were stunned. Because they are the Cirx civilization. That beam just now was the beam that destroyed their civilization's home planet. Immediately, all Slaanesh believers were all bad. It wasn't long after I left the house, and I hadn't reached the place yet, but I suddenly found that my home was gone. Who can do this better? Even the 5th level Slaanesh demon, Bellamy Tracy, who was always watching in the warp, could not calm down. Can't this damned Qin Empire take a break? Can you stop attacking in such a frenzied way? Are their energy sources inexhaustible? Bellamy Tracy couldn't bear it any longer, roaring in the warp. Her beautiful face had turned hideous at this moment. Of course, the energy of the Dakan Empire is not endless. But too much energy was stored before, and now it happens to be consumed. Today, the civilization chosen by the 4 great demons has been destroyed by 3. I thought this game would be a happy field for the 4 of them. But I didn't expect it to be a happy place now. It's just not theirs, but the shooting soup of the American Emperor. With a neutron battle star with a range of more than 120 light-years, in the competition area with a diameter of 500 light-years, facing in all directions, basically it really wants to fight wherever it wants. Even if it exceeds the range, it only needs to use the star system transition engine to jump a little distance. Just when the big demons were almost crazy in the warp, in the competition area. The most remote planetary system. The heads of several player civilizations gathered together. These players have different civilizations and races, and their appearances are all kinds of strange. But there is a common feature, that is, the part of their respective brain thoughts, all wear a ring. It seems that this ring possesses some kind of spiritual power. It connects them, and it also connects outside the competition area. Everyone, this civilized competition seems to have some variables. A humanoid, walking upright, but with 6 arms, looked at the others and said solemnly, "Yeah, I originally wanted us to block those goddamn chaos forces, but I didn't expect that a great Qin Empire would suddenly appear." Another suspended in the air, what looked like a starfish-like creature said, "Do you know the details of this great Qin Empire?" "No, I don't know, the Milky Way is too far away from us, and we don't usually communicate with that side. It's going to be difficult. Although under the influence of the Dakan Empire, the chaos forces in the competition area may be completely eliminated, but those ordinary civilizations will also suffer. Obviously, this great Qin Empire is very aggressive, and it doesn't look like some kind of civilization. If the great Qin Empire chooses to stay in the Virgo star cluster after winning, then we will have a little trouble. Such a civilization at the peak of the 4th level will definitely be promoted to the 5th level in the future. That's when the real trouble is. These people are a little distressed. And to say their true identities, they are actually players, but their bodies are players' bodies, but their minds have become the minds of others because of the halo they wear on their heads. These people are the alliance formed by several 5th-level civilizations of the Virgo star cluster, sent by the alliance of thinkers to enter the competition area to block the civilization of the chaos forces. 1. 34%. Chapter 166 5-level technology. Singularity bomb. To destroy the Dakan Empire. Subscription required. Then what do we do now? Someone asked. What is the main mission of our union of thinkers? Someone asked back. Of course it is to unify the thoughts of the Virgo star cluster, to ensure the safety of the Virgo star cluster in the universe, and to prevent the invasion of extra-system civilizations. 1. That humane. That's enough. Other player civilizations are basically at level 3 or below. Even if they survive the rematch and choose to stay in the Virgo star cluster, there is nothing to be afraid of. And the Virgo star cluster can be more colorful because of their presence. But at one point, they stay, and they must wear the halo of thinkers, and unite the line of defense with us to firmly establish digital awareness. I agree with that. It doesn't matter if they are of the same race physically, as long as they are one with us mentally. Then they are our union of thinkers. 1. It's not because we unify everyone's thoughts that we can persevere in the struggle against those great chaos demons for hundreds of thousands of years, isn't it? Then how to solve this great Qin Empire? I recommend clearing it straight away. The player with 6 arms who spoke first said, "Clear." Yes, clearing. Considering the destructiveness of the great Qin Empire, they are really too dangerous. The 6-armed player nodded. Look, just as we were talking, 17 more civilizations were completely destroyed by the neutron war star of the great Qin Empire. Such a destructive civilization may have moved closer to Korn. And this civilization will inevitably advance to level 5 in the future. We cannot allow any civilization that can threaten the safety of the Virgo star cluster to develop. Must clear. The six-armed player's attitude is extremely firm. Seconded. I agree. Seconded. Everyone present had no opinion. Soon, the decision to clear the Dakan Empire was made. Then, how should we act? The Great Qin Empire has a neutron battle star, and it is in the competition area, and the surrounding area of 500 light years is blocked. The main force of the main civilization can't come in at all. How can we defeat the neutron battle star? When it comes to neutron battle star, everyone feels a headache. After all, for the fourth level civilization, the neutron battle star is an absolutely invincible strategic weapon. These players who entered the competition area at this moment, said to be players, have actually been replaced by people from the League of Thinkers. But the fleet they control is just a fleet of Tier 4 civilizations temporarily trained by them. The fourth level civilization fleet is absolutely unable to beat the neutron battle star. After all, before the game started, they didn't know the news of the game at all. As the game is about to start, the people of the Alliance of Thinkers know, and then they realize that the forces of chaos may take the opportunity to enter. It is to urgently select a few players from the Virgo star cluster, and then forcibly raise them to the height of the fourth level civilization. Build a fleet of Tier 4 civilizations and compete in the competition. After all, things happened in a hurry, and the mechanism of the competition was special. To be honest, they were able to forcibly elevate several civilizations to the fourth level civilization in a short period of time. There is no other way but to use the trump card. Use the singularity bomb. In addition to having a genuine Tier 4 civilization fleet, each of their representative civilizations has built several Tier 5 civilization-specific battleships on their own with the help of the Alliance of Thinkers. If it weren't for the competition restrictions, the fleets that did not belong to the participating civilizations would not be able to enter at all. Otherwise, the Alliance of Thinkers will give them a complete formation of a high standard and genuine Tier 5 civilization fleet and drive in. The Singularity Bomb is the technology of the genuine 5th level civilization. This is their trump card. It was originally intended to deal with the chaos forces that may exist in the game. What I didn't expect now is that it will be used to deal with an ordinary civilization. For the neutron war star, the Singularity Bomb is the absolute natural enemy. The predecessor of the neutron war star, the neutron star can become a black hole when it goes further. Similar to the principle of the Singularity Bomb. Therefore, it is absolutely effective to use the Singularity Bomb to deal with the neutron war star. However, even if there is a 5th level technology such as the Singularity Bomb, these few people dare not say that they are absolutely winning. Because they still lack more important technology, space blocking device. They all know that the super light speed interference of the neutron battle star will put their fleet at an absolute disadvantage under the speed of light. In this case, even if there is a Singularity Bomb, it is impossible to deliver it. Without the space blocking device to break through the superluminal interference of the neutron war star, they would not be able to win. Just when these people were distressed, how to break through the superluminal interference of the neutron war star. The six-armed player's eyes gradually lit up and said, "We can find another way." Another way. How to say? Everyone else looked over. We have a lot of singularity bombs, and we can send singularity bombs to a certain location in advance. Then lead the neutron battle star of the Great Qin Empire to a specific area. Although we don't have a space blocking device, we can temporarily adjust the effect of those singularity bombs and let them stabilize in the singularity state for several hours. In the past few hours, the singularity will continuously emit huge gravitational forces around, and this special gravitational force can also interfere with the superluminal state. In this case, as long as the neutron battle star enters a specific singularity gravitational region, the enemy is also equivalent to being disturbed by superluminal speed. This time period is the key for us to redeliver the singularity bomb and destroy the opponent's neutron star. As long as the neutron battle star of the Dakan Empire is destroyed, then we can win. As soon as this idea came out, everyone's eyes lit up. Good idea. But there is one more section: how to introduce the neutron war star into a specific area. Haha, there is no need for us to lead. The neutron battle star will come to a specific area on its own. The six-armed player laughed, and then pointed a few points on the star map. The range of the neutron battle star is not sufficient to completely cover the entire 500 light-year diameter competition area. 1. So they had to move the position of the neutron battle star, and these few positions are the perfect places to cover the competition area. We can install singularity bombs in all these areas in advance, set up an ambush circle, and then wait for the Dakan Empire to enter. In this way, the Great Qin Empire will be defeated. The six-armed player's 6 eyes flashed with cold light, and his tone was firm. 34%. Chapter 167 The Emperor. The fear of all players in the Super Galaxy Cluster. Subscription. Just do it. After the meeting, several player civilizations representing the Alliance of Thinkers began to dispatch their fleets. Then start to transfer the population on your own planet. At present, the several planetary systems they are in are relatively remote, and the neutron battlestar is busy cleaning up other civilizations and has not attacked them yet. There are 5 player civilizations representing the League of Thinkers. This also means that the Alliance of Thinkers has a total of 5 5th-level civilizations. But the entire League of Thinkers is not only joined by these 5 5th-level civilizations, but also the 4th-level civilization of almost the entire Virgo star cluster. We don't have much time, and the neutron battle star may come over at any time. Have to get up to speed and get everything set up. 5 Thinker player civilizations dispatched their fleet to the first target location. This is an abandoned galaxy, 553. The entire galaxy is full of meteorite fragments scattered by the broken planet. Countless meteorite fragments re-spin around the star to make up the asteroid galaxy. This is a galaxy that has been attacked by neutron war stars. Civilizations in this galaxy have been destroyed. However, because there are more than 50,000 civilizations in the competition area within a diameter of 500 light-years, there are too many civilizations. Therefore, the neutron war star of the Dakan Empire did not have the time to attack carefully. This galaxy is the neutron war star that launched an attack from a long distance. After it is determined that the planet and the civilization inside are completely destroyed, it is a planet that is not in control. Tai. Now, 5 Thinker player civilization fleets are here. They started to set up. Most of the fleet gathered around the star, and then carefully placed remote detonated singularity bombs in the space around the star. Make sure that when the neutron war star of the Great Qin Empire jumps over, it will be affected by the singularity bomb as soon as possible. After everything was arranged, the fleet of 5 Thinker player civilizations stayed near the stars of this planetary system. Open space cover. 1. The surface of the fleet, which was densely parked in the asteroid belt around the star, flashed. Visible to the naked eye, it turned into a scene of space and the asteroid belt out of thin air. This is the stealth technology of the 5th-level civilization. Through space technology, copy the scene of the surrounding space and cover it up on its own fleet. When the fleet is stationary, or keeps moving at the same speed as the surrounding meteorites, it can achieve a near-perfect concealment effect. Under this effect, the space where the fleet is located will be replaced, and the fleet is truly hidden in the gaps of another layer of space. No means of exploration based on the real universe can detect their true condition. Unless the fleet starts suddenly and moves at a high speed, it will be exposed from the space between the universe and return to the real universe. The fleet of 5 Thinker player civilizations is completely hidden near the stars of this planetary system, waiting for possible neutron battle stars to enter this planetary system. And in the perfect location that the other 6 neutron war stars may choose, there are also their fleets to set up singularity bombs and ambush. Day 3. The neutron war star of the Dakan Empire has destroyed more than 17,000 planets in total. This means that at least 17,000 civilizations were destroyed by the neutron war star of the Great Qin Empire. In just 3 days, more than 17,000 civilizations were completely wiped out. This made all the remaining player civilizations feel extreme fear. So, they started to retire one after another. The rewards of the competition are tempting, but because this catches the entire civilization extinction, it is not worth it. This is the 4th day. So far, more than 30,000 players have abstained and given up the game, only to ask the Shanghai game system to send themselves back to the original galaxy. After all, this Virgo star cluster has one of Nima's killing gods, and many players have always believed that the emperor of the Dakan Empire must be Nima's god of corn. Many civilizations that abandoned the game were directly sent back to the original galaxy. And among those galaxies of player civilization, some ordinary players are still enthusiastically exchanging which galaxy player will win in this player civilization competition. After all, once you win, it means that there will be a 4th-level civilization among the players in the current galaxy. However, when these abandoned player civilizations were teleported back to their original galaxies, the player civilizations of all galaxies within the coverage area of the basic Virgo supercluster all knew a name. Emperor. the emperor of the Qin Empire from the Fairy Galaxy cluster. The emperor's prestige first began to spread outside the Milky Way, in the Virgo supercluster. Although, this spread of fame is not a good one. But it's still famous after all. In the Virgo competition area, more than 17,000 player civilizations were wiped out by the Dakan Empire, and more than 30,000 players were withdrawn from the competition, and the remaining players were still withdrawing and abstaining one after another, decreasing. Soon, there were very few players left in the entire competition area with a diameter of 500 light years. These few players are either extremely confident in their own strength, blindly arrogant, or have other plans. I didn't expect so many players to retire. But it's okay, it's easy. Qin Sheng looked at the star map in front of him. There were only a few players left, and nodded slightly. Although it is very convenient to use neutron stars to eliminate players, it is huge after all. In the past few days, the energy that Qin Sheng has accumulated in the past few years has almost been consumed. There are still a few planets left in the Edge Galaxy, so send the neutron war star over there. Qin Sheng looked at the star map in front of him. He was going to let the Golden Sparrow Spirit control the neutron battle star to destroy the remaining civilizations. The rest of the people, all the fleets, fully exploited, collected the resources in this competition area, and carried out new energy reserves. After all, the consumption was too huge before. If you don't try your best to collect some resources of the 5.2 ball fragments that have been blasted into ore, the existing resources will not be enough to support the next competition area. After all, the current Dakan Empire is a behemoth with a population of more than 800 billion and 12 million warships of various levels. Not to mention the battle, just talking about the energy consumed by daily maintenance is an astronomical figure. One of the 6 Thinker player civilization fleet ambush locations. Suddenly, they detected a wave of spatial fluctuations. This space is so powerful and so big that they have never seen it before. Coming, the neutron battle star of the Great Qin Empire is here. 1. All fleets stand by. Don't act rashly, don't expose yourself. Ready to detonate the singularity bomb. Everyone's spirits are lifted. 35%. Chapter 168. In front of the 5th level civilization, the Dakan Empire will definitely turn into ashes. Subscription. The fleet of 5 Thinker player civilizations is ambushed in the planetary system with the help of the 5th level civilization technology, space cover. Do not miss any possible spatial fluctuations. At this moment, a space portal glowing blue light flickered in the space. Gradually expand. It eventually expanded into a circular azure light hole with a diameter of 30 kilometers. This light hole is suspended in space like this. In the light hole, it is obvious that something is appearing. Neutron battle star. Just looking at it, it is to recognize the neutron battle star with an absolutely smooth reflective surface. The neutron battle star of the Great Qin Empire appeared. Detonate the singularity bomb. The Thinker player civilization hurriedly sent a message to everyone and issued an order. The next moment, when the neutron battle star of the Dakan Empire had just entered this galaxy, the singularity bombs dropped in this piece of space were detonated in an instant. A wave of invisible fluctuations began to spread around. Several dots appeared out of nowhere in the galaxy. Several black dots. These black spots are extremely strange. Even if you look at them from tens of billions of kilometers away, you can see a black spot the size of a finger. According to the general perspective principle of near big and far small, there is a black spot the size of a finger tens of billions of kilometers away. If you get close, this black spot will definitely be countless times larger than a star. Bar. But not. Even if you get close to your face, and see it from a distance of only a few centimeters, the black spot is still the size of a finger. In its existence in space, no matter how far or near, the size of the black spot you can see is only this big. It completely ignores the physical perspective characteristics of near and far. These black spots are very evenly distributed throughout the planetary system. Once it appeared, it began to naturally exude an extremely strong gravitational force around it. In an instant, its gravitational force covered a radius of 10 billion kilometers, and all the asteroid belts and dense meteorite belts floating in space were all pulled by the gravitational force of the black spots. It began to fall frantically towards the black dot the size of a finger. A huge meteorite with a diameter of 11 kilometers was pulled by the powerful gravitational force, and went towards the finger-sized black spot at a speed close to the speed of light. The huge meteorite with a diameter of 11 kilometers fell at a speed close to the speed of light. There is no doubt that once it collides with any entity, the terrifying energy generated by the huge kinetic energy is enough to destroy a star similar to the size of the sun thousands of times. In this case, the fleet of thinker-player civilization ambush naturally cannot be hidden, and they have exposed their entities in space, breaking out from the space gap in another layer of the universe. In space, the phantoms of millions of battleships appeared out of thin air, convert between virtual and real, and finally all solidify. In addition to emitting a huge gravitational force, the black spot also continuously radiates a huge amount of special energy into the universe. This energy can affect the hyperdrive of all ships within its gravitational range to some extent. No enemy or me. In this case, once it is enveloped by the gravitational range. Then, when the superluminal engine is disturbed and the surrounding space is disturbed by the singularity, no object, including light, can escape this range. In an instant, this piece of space with a radius of 10 billion kilometers has formed an absolute black field where no light can escape. No enemy or me. That's right, it's not just the neutron battle star of the Great Qin Empire. Even the fleet of thinker-player civilization ambush inside can never escape. Including a star in this space. Trapped in this black domain forever. This is the strategy of the thinker-player civilization. Whether or not the neutron battle star was destroyed, they succeeded. Outside the black domain with a radius of 10 billion kilometers. The other fleets of the thinker civilization players quickly jumped over. Ha 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 ha, we succeeded. The six-armed player cheered loudly, and the thought halo on his head flickered. Although they cost millions of warships and hundreds of millions of soldiers to be trapped forever in the dark territory, they succeeded. Six-armed players think it's definitely worth it. Moreover, the most important thing is that through the halo of thinkers, the thoughts of the leaders in the black domain fleet have broken through the space. Retransferred to a new body. Thought has an unusual characteristic, and by utilizing this characteristic, the power of thought can break through space. Everyone looked at the black domain with a radius of 10 billion kilometers. It can be seen that on its surface, a black hole event horizon like a black hole has been formed. Everything inside is like a movie, layering on the surface of the black domain with a radius of 10 billion kilometers. Millions of thinker-player civilization warships, and a Dakin Empire neutron battle star that was shrouded in the black domain just after it was turned over. And the countless floating meteorites. All of this seems to be standing still, like a magnificent painting. However, the six-armed player knows that this is not static, but from the outside world, all the movements of these battleships and neutron battle stars are too slow and too slow. It has been slowed down countless times before it appears to be stationary. If the real universe has passed 1,000 years or so, the objects in the picture on the surface of the black domain horizon will only move about 1 centimeter to the side. The time in the black domain was slowed down infinitely. From the perspective of the cover, the time of the real universe outside is tens, hundreds of billions of years, and maybe only a few hours have passed inside. Ha ha ha, the Great Qin Empire has lost this neutron battle star this time. The rest of our fleet can attack. The Great Qin Empire has lost the neutron battle star. The six-armed thinker player laughed and was about to order the fleet to leave and attack the remaining fleets of the Dakin Empire. However, at the next moment, something that he could not have imagined, and made him extremely frightened, happened. Outside the black domain, 3 huge azure circular light holes appeared in space. The diameter is about 30 kilometers. In the azure light hole suspended in space, 3 identical neutron battle stars slowly opened. Everyone was immediately dumbfounded. The neutron battle star of the Dakin Empire more than one. In an instant, everyone felt a huge 553 fear. In fact, their actions just now really caused the Great Qin Empire to lose a neutron battle star. However, as I mentioned before, all the staff of the Great Qin Empire, all the fleets, are doing their best to collect resources. Above that neutron battle star, only a few Jink machine souls are in charge of the operation. However, the nature of thought can travel through space. As a special soul-thinking race, the Golden Sparrow spirits in neutron battle star have already been transferred out through the Emperor. Damn, how come there are still 3 neutron battle stars in the Great Qin Empire? In an instant, everyone felt hopeless. They tried their best to trap a neutron star as the limit. Facing the 3 neutron war stars, they will definitely lose. In an instant, the 6-armed player thought of a countermeasure. All of us, voluntarily give up the game. Now we and the Dakin Empire are left in the competition area. As long as we give up the game, the Dakin Empire will definitely win. At that time, the restrictions on the competition area will be lifted, and our main civilization, the genuine 5th level civilization fleet, will be able to enter directly. Let the real 5th level civilization fleet deal with the Dakan Empire. As soon as these words came out, everyone's eyes suddenly lit up. Yes, that's exactly it. At this moment, the fleet of the League of True Thinkers is wandering outside the competition area, as long as the restrictions in the competition area are lifted. Then, the fleet of the Alliance of Thinkers can enter directly. At that time, facing the real 5th level civilization fleet, how can the Dakan Empire be a 4th level? It turned into fly ash in an instant. 35%. Chapter 169 Get Level 5 Technology. 10,000 times increase. Subscription. Great Qin Empire, Emperor Battlestar, Central Control Room. Qin Sheng looked at the black domain horizon where even light could not escape in the distance, and at the surface of the horizon, the dense fleet and neutron battle stars appeared. His brows furrowed deeply. He didn't expect that one of his own carelessness would cost him a neutron battle star. This universe is still extremely dangerous, and it has always been so smooth that I underestimated the enemy and caused this result. But fortunately, it's just a neutron battle star. This neutron battle star is like buying a lesson. Although no casualties were caused, the neutron battlestar was truly lost. According to Qin Sheng's existing technology, it is impossible for him to come out after entering the black domain. The long-distance detection results have come out, and the space in the black domain has been completely disordered. Can't go faster than light, can't make space jumps, and even light can't escape. Not even a 5th level civilization. Just now, when the other 3 battle stars of Daqin jumped over, they were also affected by the black domain to a certain extent in the space orbit. Almost swerved. Looking at the dense fleet emerging in the distant space, Qin Sheng nodded slightly. It's you. Go all out to destroy them. Although Qin Sheng could see that those players were all Tier 4 civilization fleets. For the current Qin Sheng, the strength level of the 4th level civilization can be destroyed at the touch of a finger. However, since they used some special method just now, Qin Sheng lost a neutron battle star completely, so Qin Sheng is also ready to give the other party some respect. Do your best to destroy them. In the space, countless space-hopping light holes flickered. Millions of streamers leapt out of those light holes and came to the real 3-dimensional universe. The streamer of the space transition receded, turning into pitch-black battleships, suspended in space. Damn, their main force has arrived. All abstain. Quick. The 6-armed player's expression suddenly changed, and he shouted loudly. But still slow. In the next moment, there seemed to be a sky full of endless rays of light that could completely obscure one's eyes. The dense array of millions of Tachyon spears is so terrifying. And fast. They didn't even have time to react. In an instant, they crossed the long space and hit the battleship cluster of the Thinker player civilization. In an instant, the fleet of the Thinker player civilization turned into a sea of light in space. Countless flames flickered, and one after another Thinker player civilization battleship was instantly destroyed in space. The top of the battleship is still equipped with a space-distorting shield, which can't stop the Lapla-S heavy light spear of the Great Qin Empire at all. After a round of blows, Qin Sheng looked at the distant space, the group of enemy warships that had turned into a sea of blazing flames. His eyes narrowed slightly. There are still people alive. It is not simple. After a round of firepower from his fleet, there are still a few battleships that survive. Those battleships should not be the battleships that Tier 4 civilizations can own. Qin Sheng pondered. I saw that in the space, the flame had not yet receded. Several slender, streamlined battleships propped up the void shield on the surface, pushed away the endless sea of flames, and shot out from it like bullets. Sure enough, this special space shield is definitely not a space distortion force field. Qin Sheng's eyes were solemn. All warships, focus on those special warships with all your strength. If I guessed correctly, these ships should be the battleships of the 5th level civilization. When it comes to the battleship of the 5th level civilization, the ordinary 4th level civilization should be changed. However, Qin Sheng was not afraid. If it was an entire fleet of 5th level civilizations, Qin Sheng would avoid its edge. But there are only so few Tier 5 civilized warships on the opposite side. This is Chunchun to send technology to Qin Lai. To be on the safe side, Qin Sheng was going to destroy the opponent directly. I don't intend to do anything alive and use it for research. For Qin Sheng, as long as he destroys the opponent, he can still get technology rewards. And after that, it can increase 10,000 times. The six-armed player was full of fear at the moment. Even with a few Tier 5 civilized warships, he was still afraid. It's not because of one encounter, just one round of firepower went to millions of Tier 4 warships. It is also because the shield of the 5th level battleship he is currently riding, the 5th level void shield, is about to be overloaded. It is different from the space distortion field shield used by the 4th level civilization, which relies on distorting the three-dimensional space of reality to resist or deflect enemy fire. Void shield is a true advanced space technology. No matter how high the intensity of the space warping force field is, it is also based on the space of the real universe. The void shield uses the 5th level civilization technology to touch another layer of space in the universe. By casting a thick void barrier, all incoming attacks are completely transferred to another layer of space outside the real universe. The technological gold content is very high. However, it was such a 5th level shield, after facing the firepower of millions of warships in the Dakan Empire. The void shield of this Tier 5 battleship is about to be overloaded. After the energy is overloaded, the void shield will enter a recooling and restart time of about 10 seconds. Although it is only 10 seconds, but after the six-armed player, without the void shield, in terms of the opponent's firepower, it will not take even a second to destroy oneself. The six-armed player is in fear. And Qin Sheng was a little emotional. It is indeed a battleship of the 5th level civilization, with such a thick shield. After a round of firepower from him, it still hadn't exploded. Qin Sheng's Laplace Heavy Tachyon Light Spear is a Tier 4 pinnacle weapon that is 1,000 times stronger. Usually, a single strike can destroy a battleship of the 4th level peak civilization. Although millions of warships were equipped with light spear firepower, not all of them hit the shields of Tier 5 warships. However, according to observations, at least hundreds of light spears hit those 5-level civilized warships. Under the attack of hundreds of Tier 4 peak weapons that were strengthened by 1,000 times, the shields of those Tier 5 civilized battleships did not explode. It really surprised Qin Sheng. However, the next round of firepower was jointly launched by millions of Dakan Empire warships, targeting those 5-level civilized warships. This time, they couldn't take it anymore. The new round of firepower went very fast. So much so that the six-armed player who was still in the midst of the 5th-tier battleship did not react. Li Hao, in an instant, the incomparably dense array of light spears was like a sea of light, hitting those 5th-tier battleships. Shielded. Reboot cold. Worn. Inside the 5th level battleship, the sound of the ship's AI just sounded, and in an instant, the shield was overloaded, disappeared, and was broken through. The dense sea of light completely engulfed several Tier 5 warships in an instant. Congratulations from Fairy Galaxy. Congratulations. The system beep of the game winning was directly ignored by Qin Sheng. What he wanted to hear at the moment was to obtain the sound of the opponent's technology. And the system did not disappoint Qin Sheng. You destroyed the Tier 5 battleship of the Thinker Player 6-armed civilization, and gained 5 million technical points. Congratulations on obtaining the 5th level civilization technology, Void Shield. Congratulations on obtaining the level 5 civilization technology, Singularity Bomb. Increasing 10,000 times. Congratulations on getting 35%. Chapter 170 Terrifying New Technology. The Threat of the Thinker's 5th level fleet. Subscription. 10,000 times increase. Congratulations on your technical value, 2 trillion. The 5th level civilized warship, a total of 4 ships, brought Qin Sheng a technical value of 2 trillion after the increase of 10,000 times. But now, Qin Sheng doesn't care about technical values. What he cares most about is the technology of the 5th level civilization. Level 5 civilization technology. Void Shield is increasing 10,000 times. The million-fold increase is complete. Congratulations, you have obtained the 10,000-fold enhancement, the 5th level peak civilization technology, Void Zero Energy Shield. Level 5 civilization technology. The Singularity Bomb is increasing 10,000 times. The million-fold increase is complete. Congratulations, you have obtained the 10,000-fold enhancement, the 5th level peak civilization technology, Void Singularity Collapse Cannon. Please note that the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon, which has been strengthened by 10,000 times of the Singularity Bomb, has multiple derivative technologies. Do you invest a certain technical value to obtain its derivative technologies? More technology to get. Qin Sheng was overjoyed when he heard the words. He hadn't been this happy in a long time. Finally got a higher level of technology. Although the Great Qin Empire has a 1,000-fold increase in the speed of scientific research, the technology of the fifth-level civilization, anyone with high technological content, will take thousands of years to study. With 1,000 times the scientific research speed bonus of the Great Qin Empire, it would take several years to develop a real fifth-level civilization technology by oneself. Now that he can get more for nothing, Qin Sheng is of course very happy. Now Qin Sheng still has 902 trillion technical value. Such a long string of numbers, count them carefully, 17 digits. So terrifying. However, Qin Sheng took a deep breath when he saw the number of technical values needed to develop his derivative technology. Will it spend 100 billion technical value to obtain its derivative technology? The same as the technical value consumption of 17 digits. In this way, my technical value seems to be high, but in fact, it is not a big deal in the field of fifth-level civilization technology. Qin Sheng sighed slightly. Then, Qin Sheng chose to consume. The new level 5 civilization technology cannot be ignored. Congratulations on getting a new technology, derived technology, space collapse singularity shrinking missile. Congratulations on getting the derived soldier technology, soldier void power blade. Congratulations, you have obtained the derivative individual soldier technology, 0-point particle gun. 2 main technologies and 3 derivative technologies. Qin Sheng first chose to explore the introduction of the main technology. Void Zero Energy Shield. This shield is a 5th-level peak void shield, which has strengthened its strength on the original basis and changed its energy supply method. The device that provides the void shield in the battleship can directly absorb the vacuum zero energy as an energy source. It means that this shield device does not require any physical energy blessing, such as matter fusion energy, quark fusion energy, positive and antimatter annihilation energy, and can have a nearly infinite battery life. Its overload limit is 10,000 times that of the ordinary void shield. And after overload, it can retake vacuum 0-point energy within 1/100th of a second and restart. Void Singularity Collapse Cannon. This weapon can generate a void singularity in the target space aimed at, which is different from the real 3-dimensional space, and comes from another space with slightly different physical rules, which can cause physical turbulence to the opponent's physical battleship matter. The material of the physical battleship will lose all functions after the lanization. Subsequently, the collapsed space will destroy everything within range. Truly destroy everything within range, including space itself. Single Soldier Void Power Blade. This weapon is designed to be equipped with advanced individual technology used by civilizations that are unwilling to give up their original form. The blade of the power blade has a space-cutting force field. This weapon can cut through all the normal physical rules of the real universe at close range, including neutron stars. Zero-particle gun. This weapon is designed to be equipped with advanced individual technology used by civilizations that are unwilling to give up their original form. It can emit a unique space particle ray, and the target area in the command ABFC will generate a space zero force field. Cut and transfer all realistic universe objects with normal physical rules within the hit range to another dimension. Space technology. It's basically all about space technology. Qin Sheng took a deep breath. What shocked him even more was that all the descriptions of these technologies mentioned one point. That is, the real cosmic objects with normal physical rules. According to Qin Sheng's understanding, the technology that involves the physical rules of the real universe is only the technology of the 6th-level civilization. In other words, these technologies, at least in the category of 5th-level civilization, are absolutely invincible. Now, Qin Sheng must first start spending some technical points to manifest some of these weapon technologies and equip his warships. Are you spending 1 quadrillion technical points to embody the Void Zero Energy Shield? An embodied equipment with a Void Zero Energy Shield requires 1,000 trillion technical points. Does it cost 1,000 trillion technical points to equip the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon? Will it cost 5 trillion technical values to equip Space Collapse Singularity missiles? Equipping a warship with these 3 technologies requires 25 trillion technical points. Qin Sheng's remaining technical value is only enough for 32 battleships. Qin Sheng took a breath and looked at the series of zeros flashing on the virtual screen in front of him. At this moment, the system prompt rang again. It is detected that the host already has technology involving 0-point energy, and unlocks a higher level technical value, dimensional source point. Dimensional source points. A more advanced technical value. The exchange ratio between dimension source points and ordinary technical values is 10 trillion to 1. Technical values have been automatically converted into dimension source points. Now the host has a dimension source point. 8000 automatically hides after the decimal point. Click to expand the number after the decimal point. Whether 250 dimensional source points are consumed to realize and equip the above-mentioned technological equipment. Qin Sheng thought for a while, then nodded. All equipment. There is technical value. Oh no, it should be said that there is a dimension source point. It is not a bastard, only the fastest will be converted into the main combat power. Only Qin Sheng can earn more dimension source points. The competition area has ended, and the reward has come to Qin Sheng. However, Qin Sheng didn't even look at the rewards of this division. After all, the rewards in the competition area are only the most common 4th level elementary technology. After the 10,000-fold increase, it will not be able to break through the shackles of the technology level. At this moment, outside the competition area, a genuine 5th level civilization fleet that had been wandering outside was finally able to enter this area with a diameter of 500 light years. The Thinker Alliance fleet composed of 5 genuine 5th level civilizations. The number of warships in this fleet is not many, it can even be said to be rare, but it is powerful enough. Their goal is very clear, that is, the Great Qin Empire. 1. 35%. Chapter 171 The Dakan Empire Cannot Escape. Subscription. League of Thinkers. The main area is located in the Virgo Home Cluster. It is a civilization alliance founded by 5 5th-level civilizations in the Virgo Headquarters Star Cluster. The purpose of the entire alliance of thinkers is to unify the thoughts of all Virgo civilizations, strengthen the ideological defenses of Virgo civilization, and prevent any chaotic power from entering the Virgo Star Cluster. At this point, the division within the Virgo cluster is completely over. The Dakan Empire from the Fairy Galaxy Group won the final victory. At the cost of the total extinction of more than 17,000 civilizations. The Great Qin Empire would not care about this. But, the League of Thinkers cares. In fact, there are more than 5 5th-level civilizations in the League of Thinkers. There are many 4th-level civilizations under it. After the careful arrangement of 5 5th-level civilizations, they are evenly distributed among all the river systems in the entire Virgo Star Cluster. At the center of the Virgo Home Cluster, there are galaxies with diameters larger than the Milky Way. At the very center of the Virgo Home Cluster is the dominant star cluster's galaxy, the giant elliptical galaxy M87. Including M87, there are M84, M86, M88, M89, M90 and M58 galaxies in the Virgo Modo cluster. Together, a total of 7 larger star systems form the Virgo Modo cluster. Each of these galaxies is larger than the Milky Way. Among them, the alliance of leading thinkers established the 5th-level medium civilization of the M87 galaxy, the non-Messier civilization. The non-Messier civilization is a civilization that originated in the M87 galaxy. The 7 star systems of the former Virgo cluster are threatened by chaos. The non-Messier civilization has experienced hardships and millions of years of development, and finally grew into a 5th-level civilization, and 500,000 years ago, it proposed a plan to completely eliminate the threat of chaos and expel the forces of chaos from the Virgo Headquarters Star Cluster. That is, the line of defense. Non-Messier civilization, as a civilization that started from the study of spiritual technology, has an unusual understanding of spirituality and ideology. They know that ideas can be reshaped, completely reshaped. Therefore, using the technology of reshaping the mind, non-Messier successfully deleted all the concepts and memories of chaos in the minds of all low-level civilizations in all the star systems in the Virgo Home Cluster. Build a unified line of ideological defense and guard against it. For a long time, the most beneficial weapon of chaos is the almost endless spread of ideas. The weeds can't be burnt out, and the spring breeze blows and grows again. The non-Messier civilization directly gave you the soil where chaos took root and sprouted. In this way, chaos is naturally restricted and cannot develop. For 500,000 years, the coalition of thinkers dominated by non-Messier civilizations has achieved complete success. Chaos forces were completely expelled. All the 4th-level civilizations of the entire Virgo star cluster have been allocated by the Alliance of Thinkers, and are evenly distributed among the 7 star systems. I have to say that the Virgo star cluster is more lively than the Milky Way. The 7 star systems of the Virgo cluster, on average, each star system plus the satellite dwarf galaxies around the star system, has about 1,000 4th-level civilizations. Together, there are more than 7,000 4th-level civilizations, but there are only 5 5th-level civilizations. it can be seen that it is difficult to promote the technological level system. The Milky Way is almost closed, and there is basically no communication with the surrounding large and small Magellanic Clouds. Not to mention the communication with the Andromeda Galaxy. However, the 7 star systems in the Virgo headquarters cluster are constantly communicating with each other, and they are the horns of each other, strictly preventing the invasion of chaos. In addition to the non-Messier civilization of the M87 galaxy itself, the rest of the 5th-level civilizations include the Makarian civilization and the Chuliang civilization from the long chain of M84, M86, and M88 galaxies. There are also the Audiobook civilization in the M89 galaxy and the Chokaduo civilization in the M90 galaxy. These 5-level civilizations have jointly constructed the top ideological defense line of the Thinkers Alliance. The competition area of the competition is located in the M87 galaxy at the center of the Virgo star cluster. Galaxy M87 is the core of the League of Thinkers and the home of non-Messier civilizations. It is conceivable how nervous the non-Messier civilizations can be at the beginning of this cross-galaxy cluster competition area. Non-Messier civilization, Special Fleet Battle Group. A Special Fleet Battle Group is a flexible fleet of warships in non-Messier civilizations. Generally, it consists of a space blockade warship as the core, equipped with 10 space strike warships, 3 space reconnaissance and anti-reconnaissance warships, and 2 specialized energy supply and space construction ships. A total of 16 battleships. Sometimes, different ship types are allocated according to the type of mission and used flexibly. This is also one of the most basic fleet battle group formations of non-Messier civilizations. The technology of the 5th-level civilization is basically space technology, and space technology consumes a lot of energy. Ordinary antimatter-powered reactors are already somewhat stretched. It is not that Messier's technological content is not enough to truly master the higher energy technology of vacuum zero-point energy. Therefore, only special large-scale energy supply battleships can be built in the fleet. This kind of warship basically does not participate in the battle, but a full-time antimatter energy supply reactor, through the space gap energy pipeline built between the fleet and the fleet, to achieve long-distance and unlimited energy supply to the entire fleet. Because of this, other warships are only equipped with the most basic antimatter energy supply reactors, leaving a lot of space to place various weapons and equipment. Firepower and defensive power are not ordinary. Non-Messier, Wall of Thought, Special Battle Group. The number of warships is not large, of course, this is just an advanced reconnaissance fleet. The flagship space blockade battleship, Thinking Shackles. Shackles, not a compliment, means bondage. Taking this name is also the self-deprecation of the commander of this fleet to his own civilization. In the bridge, the commander of the fleet stood in front of the slogan, "Unify the line of defense, strengthen 4-dimensional management, and firmly establish digital awareness." Looking at the deep space of the universe displayed in front of him, the 3 eyes on his face narrowed slightly, the Great Qin Empire. As the fleet commander closest to the competition area, he has received the thinking consciousness that the thinker-player civilization in the competition area is automatically teleported away after death. Know the Great Qin Empire. In the space in front of it, about 2 light years away, is the place where the Dakan Empire destroyed the thinker-player civilization fleet. Pass my order. Prepare to open the space blockade and block the area with a radius of 5 light years ahead. You can't let the enemy escape. The energy-supplying battleship is fully powered. Ready to fight. One command. The space blockade battleship immediately started the blockade. Within a radius of 5 light years, the space solidified pill. 35%. Chapter 172 isn't that the 5th-level civilization, do him. Subscription. Space blockade. This kind of space blockade is generally a means of preventing the enemy from making space transitions and hiding the whereabouts of their fleet in space. Generally, before the battle is about to start, after the enemy's position is determined and locked, a large-scale space blockade of the front space will be carried out. In fact, the space blockade used by the non-Messier fleet battle groups did work. Here, the fleet of the Dakan Empire just destroyed the fleet of the thinker-player civilization. And Qin Sheng has just used the dimension source point to upgrade and materialize the 32 warships with 5th-level technology. Just as he was about to evacuate, the surrounding space was directly blocked. For a time, all the space transition light holes that were about to be opened by the battleships of the Great Qin Empire were also forcibly closed. The jump failed. Qin Sheng frowned directly. He quickly realized what happened to 557. To be able to block the space in such a large area, only the 5th level civilization can do such a thing. The local 5th level civilization came so quickly. The speed of this 5th level civilization was somewhat beyond Qin Sheng's expectations. But Qin Sheng also quickly made corresponding arrangements. He issued an order. The remaining 4-level peak level warships are all retreated, and 32 battleships equipped with Void Zero energy shields and 5th level civilization weapons move forward. Qin Sheng knew that in the face of the 5th level civilization fleet, the only ones he could deal an effective blow to at the moment were these 32 newly upgraded warships. But now, there is an extremely critical problem, that is, Qin Sheng does not know from which direction the enemy launched the space blockade. Moreover, how many warships the enemy has come, and what is the strength. Qin Sheng knew nothing about it. Qin Sheng does not fight unprepared battles. If the strength of the enemy who came this time exceeded Qin Sheng's expectations, then Qin Sheng had to avoid the edge for a while. However, Qin Sheng was not in a hurry. Because he has a backhand. This backhand is one of the competition area rewards obtained from the system. It can be directly sent to the next competition area for competition. Can leave directly. System, current status, can I use the teleportation permission to teleport me and my civilization to the next competition area? Qin Sheng asked directly. You can use the teleportation permission at any time to choose the next division to play in. Qin Sheng was relieved to receive an accurate answer from the Shanghai game system. Since this is the case, then Qin Sheng is not in a hurry. At this moment, he even had some thoughts. That is, relying on the 32 battleships equipped with the Void Zero energy shield and the weapons of the 5th level civilization that he just upgraded, and the unknown 5th level civilization fleet. Fight a battle. Qin Sheng is very confident in the ability of Void Zero to shield. The Void Zero energy shield is based on the ordinary Void shield of the 5th level civilization, the result of which is increased 10,000 times. In addition to the self-sufficient zero-point energy device, the second is absolutely thick enough. Very resistant to play. As for the rest of the 4-tier peak level warships, Qin Sheng was not afraid of damage to these warships. First of all, these battleships are not valuable in the Dakan Empire at this moment, and they can be built casually. Second, the consciousness of a tactical humanoid girl can also be transferred. Even if all of them are killed here, they can also transfer their consciousness. Then recreate the silicon-based body placement consciousness. So rounded up, there are no casualties, only damage to the battleship. Under this premise, Qin Sheng can fight and run, and is not afraid of the enemy's space blockade. If the battle situation is unfavorable, you can use the system's teleportation to run away at any time. If it goes well, even if one of the enemy's warships is destroyed, then Qin Sheng will earn it. Not to mention the technical value dimension source point obtained, the battleship of the 5th level civilization will definitely give Qin Sheng a lot of good technology. What Qin Sheng lacked now was the technology of the 5th level civilization. Therefore, Qin Sheng was not afraid at all. Isn't it the 5th level civilization, do him. However, Qin Sheng's upgraded 32 warships still have a disadvantage. That is, the energy supply of the warship itself is insufficient. The antimatter power supply engine equipped on the battleship is simply not enough to drive the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon, which has now become the main gun of the battleship. In this way, in order to make the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon work, Qin Sheng even had to make the battleship's Void Zero energy shield device pull out an additional power supply line to supply the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon with energy. In this way, the strength of the Void Zero energy shield would have to drop by about 30%. But Qin Sheng believes that even if the strength drops by 30%, the Void Zero energy shield is still strong. After that, Qin Sheng started to issue the Combat Order 0. First of all, let the 4-level peak battleships be scattered. For the next battle, this will not be of use now. Then, let the 3 neutron war stars use the Sky Curtain, Space Distortion Force Field Shield to cover the pulse and light emitted by themselves. Under this kind of space solidification, the space warping force field of neutron battlestar almost lost its shielding effect. Can't resist any attack. The Sky Curtain, Space warping force field used by neutron battlestar is 1,000 times stronger than the ordinary space warping force field. Under this kind of space solidification and blockade, it can barely support itself, covering its own gravity, pulses and other signs. But that's about it. Under the space blockade, not only the transition engine cannot be used, but even the speed of light is disturbed. At this moment, the speed of all the warships under Qin Sheng was reduced to below the speed of light. But, not only Qin Sheng, but also the enemy. If the enemy is within the blockade of this space. Non-Messier civilization, Thought Wall, Special Fleet Battle Group. In a place 2 light years away from the fleet of the Deccan Empire. They are also within the confines of the space blockade. After all, the space blockade is an area with a radius of 5 light years. Regarding the Deccan Empire, although according to the information, it is only a 4th level peak civilization, although the commander of the Thought Wall Fleet Battle Group is very contemptuous of the Deccan Empire. However, the commander of the Wall of Thinking Special Fleet Battle Group 5.2 with only 16 warships will still abide by the battle rules of the Alliance of Thinkers. They will use the fighting methods against the 5th level civilization to deal with the Deccan Empire. First, they would hide their tracks, and then, separated by a distance of 2 light years, would use space weapons to launch an attack on the area where the fleet of the Deccan Empire was located. In fact, they only roughly knew the regional location of the Deccan Empire. Based on the area of the previously destroyed League of Thinkers player civilization fleet as a reference. If the Deccan Empire's fleet was still in this area, it would naturally be hit by their ranged attack. You are only a 4th level peak civilization, and it is your honor to die in the means of a 5th level civilization. The commander of the Thinking Wall fleet muttered to himself, and then ordered, attack. 36%. Chapter 173. The distance is calculated in light years, you can't hit me. Subscribe. The distance of 2 light years limits the superluminal means in the real universe. Under this limitation, many weapons that rely on the real universe cannot be effective. Such as missiles, such as lasers. After all, the distance of 2 light years, light has to fly for 2 years. In this case, a weapon that can quickly launch an attack and quickly reach the enemy's area. Only equipped with space weapons. Although the space is frozen, the space weapon can find another way to launch an attack directly from the space gap in another layer of the universe. Relying on the seriality of space, it can quickly reach the area where the enemy is located. Although the space is blocked and solidified, the means of transition and superluminal speed cannot be used. But in this case, the space itself also becomes brittle. Space weapons can play a better role. As for why it is solidifying, and the fragile space cannot use the superluminal engine. Naturally, the superluminal engines other than the jump engine are generally curvature engines. The principle of the curvature engine has been mentioned in O1 for a long time, by distorting the space, so that the space itself where the battleship is located obtains a kind of forward tension. The essence is that space is advancing, rather than a battleship. Therefore, in this case, the solidified and fragile space will shatter as soon as the curvature engine starts. The entire incarnation became a space-shattering bomb, and the battleship and the surrounding space were directly finished, turned into pieces, and returned to nothingness. How else to use the curvature engine for superluminal speed? In the area where the Deccan Empire fleet was originally located, a broken hole suddenly appeared. Countless twisted space debris agitated. These space debris seem to be transformed into entities in the surrounding space, and every inch of space reflects the endless galaxy. The light flickered, and under the light of the countless fragments of the Milky Way, there is a deep, empty darkness. The range of darkness is vast, more than 10 billion kilometers. Qin Sheng looked back at the suddenly shattered space. He understood that it was the 5th level civilization that attacked him. But from the effect of this attack, the enemy must not be close to him, because the enemy can't grasp his real specific position. Qin Sheng determined that he did not know the exact location of the enemy, but the enemy also did not know his exact location. Because now Qin Sheng has dispersed all the fleet, and relying on the speed not exceeding the speed of light, he has withdrawn very far. This is the battle of the 5th level civilization. It seems a little boring, because there is no large-scale fleet of lasers, and the dazzling scene of superluminal missiles bombing. Yes, only in the light-year scale cosmic battlefield, incarnated as the shadow of the universe, hidden in the dark space, the creepy games are played again and again. The real incarnation of this space battlefield becomes the dark forest. The commanders of both fleets are racking their brains and trying their best to play the game of thinking. Whoever really finds the enemy's position first will be the first to launch an absolutely fatal blow. The losers can only follow the space they are in and turn into complete nothingness. As expected of a 5th level civilization, even in the face of my civilization, which is still at the peak of the 4th level in theory, there is enough strategic vigilance. Without swagger, he appeared in front of me without caring and played against me. It's a little tough to deal with now. Qin Sheng pondered. The enemy obviously knew that the Dakan Empire was not the real intelligence of the fifth-level civilization. After all, to say that the player civilization of the League of Thinkers, which was destroyed by him before, did not transmit any information, Qin Sheng would not believe it at all. Because of this, the enemy Qin Sheng faced this time was more difficult to deal with than any previous enemy. Now the enemy has some information about the Qin Empire, but Qin Sheng still knows nothing about the enemy. Very bad. 2 light years away, the Thinking Wall Fleet. Thinking Shackles. Flagship Bridge, the commander asked. How is the spatial feedback? Did the attack work? No, Commander, space feedback indicates that no physical matter has been shattered. The technician said, and then asked, Commander, we don't cover up our own attacks, is it really okay? I don't think there is a problem. The commander shook his head and said, according to the information, the so-called Dakan Empire is not a 5th-level civilization, it has killed the 4th-level peak civilization. Even the 4th-level peak civilization has some technology to explore the space, but the distance of 2 light years, even if they know our specific direction, so what? I didn't swagger to drive the fleet directly in front of them, and then confront them, but use the space blockade to deal with the 5th-level civilization, which is enough to give them face. As soon as this statement came out, everyone else nodded in agreement. The technological gap between civilization levels is extremely huge. Obviously, although the commander of the non-Messier Wall of Thinking fleet is safe, there is still a bit of arrogance in his heart, which comes from the arrogance of the 5th-level civilization over the technological gap of the 4th-level civilization. Therefore, of course, it is a bit too big. If you put it in a normal situation, and deal with the general 4th-level peak civilization, then there is obviously no problem with his arrogance. Because the ordinary 4th-level peak civilization does not have enough strength to launch 557 quick attacks across a distance of 2 light years. Therefore, they also did not cover up the conduction fluctuations in the spatial direction of this attack. The Qin Empire is different. Your Majesty, we have discovered the source of the direction of attack. 1. The spatial fluctuation is very slight, but still points us to a possible source of direction. 1. After the enemy launched the attack, the spatial fluctuations in the attacked location pointed out the source of the attack direction for the Dakan Empire. The 4th-level peak civilization has a preliminary exploration space for this strength, and uses this fluctuation to determine a certain direction. Although the enemy is a 5th-level civilization, the enemy did not cover this trace. But, it's still blurry because there's only one general direction. The universe is so vast, not to mention the battlefield that is measured in light years. Even if it is a slight difference of 1 nanometer, if it is placed over this huge distance, it is enough to make the effect of the attack direction deviation in the opposite direction. Pass my order. Don't act rashly for the time being. 32 warships are scattered in space at sub-light speed. Waiting for the enemy to attack again, be sure to accurately lock the enemy's direction and position. Qin Sheng calmly gave the order. He has already discovered the enemy's flaw, and now he is waiting for this flaw to become more magnified. 36%. Chapter 174 Space Tearing on the Scale of Light Years. Subscription. The first attack of the non-Messier civilization, Wall of Thought, Special Fleet Battle Group did not have the effect they wanted. Commander, do you want to launch the next attack according to the original coordinates? A technician asked. The commander of the Thinking Shackles thought for a while, then sneered and said, it seems that our enemy is very vigilant. After destroying the pieces we arranged, he immediately left the original coordinate position. This caused our attack to fail, but it doesn't matter, we are going to spend 90% of our energy reserves to launch a large-scale space fragmentation attack. 90% energy reserves. Here, Commander, after this attack, our void shields don't have enough energy. Once our fleet is attacked, there is no means of protection. When the technician heard the words, he immediately refuted, but was reprimanded. What danger can there be? The enemy is not a 5th-level civilization, and I can launch a space blockade for them enough to look down on them. The commander of the Thinking Shackles sneered, and then said, this time is to really solve their attack completely, they can't possibly have the ability to attack us. Execute my order. The technicians had no choice but to execute the commander's order. Although they are all members of the Alliance of Thinkers and have unified the ideological defense line, the unified ideological defense line does not mean that they all have the same thinking, they all have their own thinking, and they will have different opinions on certain things. The unified line of defense is only to fight the shield, and in private, several civilizations of the Thinker Alliance also hold different opinions on some non-chaotic things. That is to say, although the union of thinkers appears to be very united, in reality they are not as united as they appear on the surface. But even so, it is much more united than other civilized alliances composed of various interests or other things. Soon, among the 16 non-Messier warships suspended in the dark space, 10 specialized space strike warships began to prepare for the next large-scale attack. During this process, they did not cover up the spatial fluctuations emanating from themselves. Because they don't feel the need to cover up. This kind of special space fluctuation is not reflected in the space of the actual three-dimensional universe, but is reflected in the fluctuations in the gaps in other spaces that are different from the actual three-dimensional universe. From some perspectives, this involves the knowledge of four-dimensional space to a certain extent. The attack was launched. From the perspective of the real three-dimensional universe, no clue can be seen. Even these 10 space strike warships did not move at all. Just after the attack was launched, the surface of the entire fleet seemed to be a little darker. The void shield has lost its function. 90% of the fleet's energy reserves were drained. They have been unable to support the protection of the void shield. If there is an equivalent 5th-level civilization to attack these warships, then they can only sit still. But they all thought that this was impossible, because the League of Thinkers had no enemies except chaos. Now, chaos is impossible. And a small enemy at this stage, the Great Qin Empire, is only a 4th-level civilization. They believed that it was impossible for the Great Qin Empire to launch an effective attack on them. It's very quiet here. However, 2 light years away, it was not calm at all. Centered on the space attack they launched earlier. At this moment, in the dark space that has completely turned into emptiness, this emptiness of darkness is expanding around. This expansion is instantaneous. It is a circular area with a diameter of 1 light year centered on the deep empty space of 10 billion kilometers. The whole space is like a piece of glass, and it shatters instantly. In this region, there is only one star. At this moment, the star is like a drawing on a drawing board. Now, the drawing board holding the star is broken. Entire stars are also shattered with shattered drawing boards. Countless space debris with stellar fragments spread around. Drift. Eventually, each piece of space debris with stellar shards exploded. The natural fission reaction inside the star could not be maintained, and a huge energy shock was emitted to the surrounding area. But under the scale of 1 light year at this moment, the light from each of these stellar fragments is like fireflies flickering in the darkness. The light is dim and can be seen, but that's all. The space within the surrounding 1 light year area was completely shattered. Even these rays of light spread out at all. Because the surrounding has turned into nothingness. Without the rules of physics, there is only a dark nothingness. Even light has no medium in which to travel. It can only be constantly flickering in a certain piece of space debris, but it cannot break through this piece of space debris. And within this range, the 3 neutron battle stars of the Dakan Empire, as well as the other million battleships of Tier 4 civilization, have all turned into nothingness. Pieces of the wreckage of the battleship seem to be frozen, trapped in the space debris in the middle and west of the sky. But there are also larger space debris, which trapped a complete Dakan Empire battleship. To the naked eye, it looks like countless broken photos. At present, in the fleet of the Dakan Empire, apart from the 32 ships that have been upgraded and use the Void Zero energy shield to protect their own battleships, the rest of the million battleships, including the 3 neutron battle stars, all destroy. With this kind of space tearing, even atoms can be easily torn apart, and even the strong interaction between quarks is like paper. This is the gap between the 5th-level civilization warship and the 4th-level civilization warship. No matter how powerful the warships of the 4th-level civilization are, and the number of them, it only needs a 5th-level civilization warship to use the space to launch an attack. Li Jiao. With the adjective 1 enemy 10,000, it seems petty. 1 enemy million is easy. Qin Sheng had already expected this. 32 remaining battleships of the Dakan Empire are among the battleship bridge formerly known as the Yongle Da and Emperor class comprehensive battleships. Qin Sheng held a quantum chip, glanced at it, and put away his disguise. This small chip, only the size of a fingernail, stores the ideological data of the entire fleet and billions of tactical humanoid girls. The fleet is gone, but as long as this chip is brought back by Qin Sheng, they can be reawakened. Have you found the exact location of the enemy? Qin Sheng asked. It is reported that the fire control system of the Void Singularity Collapse Cannon has detected the spatial fluctuation of the attack source by itself. This time the detection is extremely clear, and the coordinates of the enemy have been determined. Chi Payer answered immediately. 36%. Chapter 175 Victory. Get the new Level 5 technology. Subscription. The Non-Messier Civilization, Wall of Thought, Superclass Battleship Battle Group. During the Thinking Shackles. Commander, according to the space feedback, more than 1 million enemy targets have been completely wiped out by space tearing. Technicians immediately responded to the commander in response to the wide-ranging attack. Very good. The enemy has been completely eliminated by us. The commander nodded and said happily. Although he only wiped out a 4th-level peak civilization, these enemies are not worth mentioning, but this is also worthy of his joy. Because it's military. Since the establishment of a unified ideological defense line for 500,000 years, there has been no war in the major star systems for a long time. 500,000 years of peace. Under this circumstance, even if this commander destroyed a level 4 civilization that was not worth mentioning, it would be considered the greatest military achievement in hundreds of thousands of years. How does this not excite him? As for whether the enemy is really all wiped out, does that even need to be said? The area within 1 light year in diameter has been torn apart by their space weapons. In this case, in the torn space, it will turn into a real void, an area where physical rules no longer exist. Of course, they don't have the ability to manipulate the laws of physics, but that's an additional 557 effect of the space being destroyed. All the real cosmic matter in that area will have the effect of turbulence. Since the building blocks of physics no longer exist, even atoms will disappear. In this case, all matter ceased to exist. How could anyone still be alive? Oh, and not everything doesn't exist. Dark energy is definitely still there. Dark energies are not affected in any way by the actual 3-dimensional universe, so they still exist. However, even the non-Messier civilization can't understand the existence of dark energy, and how could the Qin Empire understand it? Therefore, without even thinking about it, the Dakan Empire must have been completely wiped out by them. Everyone, our mission has been completed. Remove the space blockade, and the energy supply battleship transmits the last 10% of the energy reserve through the space gap energy pipeline. Let's get out of this F-King place. Just after the Wall of Thought, Fleet Commander happily issued an order. Suddenly, he heard a terrified cry. Commander. Anomalous spatial fluctuations detected. We've been locked down. It's the space weapon ABFC. We've been locked by the space weapon. Anxious, terrifying. The commander was stunned for a moment, and even his voice was hoarse. How is that possible? Where did it come from? No. Start the engine immediately. No. Quickly evacuate the space blockade, and then activate the emergency space avoidance. Dodge. Must dodge. 90% of their entire fleet's energy reserves have been used up in the previous light year space torn apart. With only 10% of the energy supply they left. It is impossible to hold up any void shield at all. If they are attacked by any kind of space weapon, then there's only one end. All destroyed. The commander, including everyone in the entire fleet, was terrified to the extreme at this moment. Each of them frantically activated all the emergency plans. Then they found that they were running out of time. Any emergency plan requires an advance energy supply. Generally speaking, this energy supply is always on, so that they can be turned on at any time. But before, they used 90% of the energy reserves in order to launch a large-scale space tearing. Now, there is simply not enough energy for them to use any kind of emergency plan. Damn, how could this be? Where did the attack come from? Who initiated the attack? We don't have any enemies. The commander was anxious and angry, and he growled at the technician beside him. Then, he discovered a strange scene. His eyes are constantly rising at the moment. And the technician he was looking at, together with the surrounding environment, was also constantly rising. What happened? The commander was taken aback. Look down. He couldn't see his body, only a dark void. As far as he could see, it was just behind the technicians in front of him, and part of the surrounding space within the bridge. About 5 cubic meters or so of space. The rest of the place, all is a void of darkness. Space torn. The part of the space where his head is located, and even the surrounding space where the technicians are located, are separated from other spaces. Because of the torn pieces of space debris, there is no propagation of any electromagnetic force in contact with the rules of physics. As a result, the head of the commander who stretched out this piece of space debris could not see any other torn space debris. The scene of other space debris cannot spread to him, so he can't see it. He can only see the scene of the space debris where he is, and the rest is an incomparably deep darkness and nothingness. Who the hell launched a space attack on us? Are other civilizations in the Alliance? This was the last thought before the commander's consciousness died out. Unfortunately, he will never get an answer. The space debris that carried him also shattered in an instant. The surrounding space within a range of hundreds of billions of kilometers was constantly torn and turned into fragments, and then all concentrated to one point. All the space debris concentrated to a point and flew away. A new spatial singularity is formed. This singularity is infinitely small in volume, infinite in density, and infinite in space-time curvature at the singularity. This singularity is so quietly suspended in the deep nothingness within the range of hundreds of billions of kilometers. Maybe the next moment, it will explode. Or maybe it will take thousands of years before it will explode. But no one can tell. It is possible that after the singularity explodes, a new space may be formed. It may also form new physical rules in this area of 100 billion kilometers. Maybe a small new universe with a size of only 100 billion kilometers will be born. Likely, but not necessarily. All of this can only be measured by time. You destroyed the League of Thinkers, the space blockade battleship of the Tier 5 medium non-Messier civilization, and obtained the technical value, 200 million. You destroyed the League of Thinkers, a Tier 5 medium non-Messier civilized space strike warship, and gained technical value, 150 million. You have acquired technical value, 2.45 billion. 10,000 times increase. You got the technical value, 24.5 trillion. 1. Convert to dimensional source points, and you get 24.5 dimensional source points. 1. You have acquired a new level 5 civilization technology. 36%. Chapter 176. Do a big vote. Subscription. Congratulations on getting a new level 5 civilization technology, space blockade technology. Congratulations, you have obtained the new level 5 civilization technology, space covering technology. Congratulations on obtaining a new level 5 civilization technology, long distance space gap energy transmission technology. 10,000 times increase. Space blockade technology has been increased to 4-dimensional cage blockade technology. 1. Space occlusion technology has been augmented to 4-dimensional occlusion technology. The transmission technology of long-distance space gap energy pipeline has been increased to vacuum zero-point quantum reaction transmission technology. 4-dimensional cage blocking technology. The space where the target location is located can be superimposed on its countless parallel spaces in the 4-dimensional space to build a cage that can never be escaped. 4-dimensional cover technology. It can make the battleship itself escape into the 4-dimensional space for a short time to hide. But note that the 4D space dimension is too high. If the 3-dimensional matter or creature does not have the corresponding strength of the void shield protection, it will rashly enter the 4-dimensional space, and it will disintegrate. At that time, you will be surprised to find that your heart, blood vessels, blood or other organs are intact, but they fly out of your body out of thin air. Vacuum zero-point quantum reaction transmission technology. In vacuum, energy is everywhere, and the system composed of positron and negative electron rotating wave packets continuously reacts in vacuum, which can generate huge energy. This special energy can be transmitted over unlimited distances using this special reaction of quantum entanglement. Here are 3 brand new technologies. And, strong enough. However, the only disadvantage is that the current Qin Sheng does not have enough dimensional source points to materialize it. These technologies are too powerful, so that the current Qin Sheng cannot understand the technical principles. Now the Great Qin Empire is unable to actively manufacture it, and can only rely on the technical value dimensional source point to materialize it. The problem is, Qin Sheng's dimension source points are not many now. Only just got the 24.5 point dimension source point. To materialize any of the above technologies, you need more than 1,000 trillion technical values, or more than 100 dimensional source points. The dimension source point is not enough. Qin Sheng thought to himself. Or, are you doing a big wave? Qin Sheng can now use the system's teleportation authority to leave at any time, so Qin Sheng is more courageous. Only by destroying 16 enemy ships, the dimensional source points obtained are too few. Qin Sheng prepares and lays an ambush here, waiting for more genuine Tier 5 fleets to arrive. Then, suddenly launch an attack. Destroy as many ships as you can. After an attack, never be greedy, then leave immediately. Just want to harvest more dimension source points at one time. Just do it. Qin Sheng quickly gave the order. 32 battleships started the space transition. Came beyond the deep darkness and nothingness within the range of hundreds of billions of kilometers. Not too close here. Instead, it maintains a distance of 0.1 light years, about 1 trillion kilometers. After that, Qin Sheng threw a detector into that area, so that the area can be monitored at any time. Of course, Qin Sheng didn't expect the detector to be very useful. Just notify Qin Sheng after more Tier 5 civilization warships arrive here. In that case, Qin Sheng would directly order the fleet to focus fire on that space. Ranged strike. Accuracy is not required. After the fight, Qin Sheng immediately withdraws. Regardless of whether there is a victory or not, it must be withdrawn. Although now Qin Sheng's 32 battleships are equipped with powerful Void Zero energy shields and Void Collapse singularity cannons. But with only these two things, Qin Sheng has no other level 5 civilization technology that can be used together. Space blockade cannot be performed. Space cover cannot be performed. More detailed space exploration is not possible. None of these work. Before only 16 battleships of the 5th level civilization faced Qin Sheng head-on, Qin Sheng still relied on the opponent's arrogance to win. Otherwise, you can't really win. So this time, Qin Sheng has to be careful and careful. Qin Sheng's 32 warships remained silent in this dark space, waiting for the arrival of the enemy. 0 for flowers. Didn't wait too long. Just a day later, Qin Sheng received a response from the probe. There is a massive space transition reaction. A small fleet has jumped over. The fleets of the 5th level civilization are not very large, of course, it depends on who they are compared with. Compared with the 4th level civilization, which has a fleet of more than 1 million ships, the fleet size of the 5th level civilization can be said to be pitifully small. However, the technological content contained in it is countless times far superior to the 4th level civilization. Even the most common and technologically complete Tier 5 civilized warship can defeat a million Tier 4 civilized warships unscathed. The 5th level civilization fleet that jumped over this time is still a non-Messier civilization fleet. After all, the M87 star system, here is their home. In the rest of the galaxy, the fleets of other 5th level civilizations are coming here. It is believed that within a month, a large number of other civilization fleets will gather. After all, the space transition technology of the 5th level elementary civilization is enough to span a distance of 1 million light years in 1 month. However, Qin Sheng will not wait for them for a month. It takes too long and there are too many variables. Qin Sheng couldn't bet that he could not be discovered by the enemy for such a long time without space to cover himself. Therefore, Qin Sheng will attack immediately, no matter how many warships appear next. In fact, Qin Sheng is already preparing at this moment. Attack when the opponent just jumps over. Don't give the other party any time to react. A space with a range of hundreds of billions of kilometers. At the very center, a singularity of infinite mass and infinitely small volume is moving wonderfully, and it seems that it will explode anytime, anywhere. But strangely stabilized, just outside the range of 100 billion kilometers, only 1 million kilometers away. One after another Azure space transition light holes opened. One after another rays of light jumped out of it. Then all the light stopped in space. Showed his true face. A fleet of about 5,000 non-Messierian Tier 5 warships jumped over. Maru. 1. 36%. Chapter 177 400 million light years away, a new galaxy. Subscription. Non-Messier civilization, the 17th main battle fleet. The main battle fleet is a conventional fleet armament of non-Messier civilizations. This main battle fleet usually consists of 1,000 special fleet battle groups similar to the previous Thought Wall. The fleet is full of warships, about 16,000. It consists of 1,000 space blockade warships, 10,000 space strike warships, 3,000 space reconnaissance and anti-reconnaissance warships, and 2,000 energy supply and space construction warships. However, the 17th main battle fleet that came here at this moment is obviously dissatisfied. The incident happened in a hurry, and they also set off in a hurry. In order not to delay the fighter plane, they did not wait for the other warships of the fleet to be ready, and then set off first. So here, there are only more than 5,000 warships. The flagship of the 17th main battle fleet, Philosophy Infinity. Philosophy Infinity, is a giant space blockade warship with a body length of 200 inches 557 and 37 kilometers. This battleship alone can block the space within a radius of 500 light years. It can block enemy troops hundreds of light years away from a long distance and prevent them from escaping. Originally, the commander of the 17th Main Battle Fleet was here to fight, but when he jumped with the battleship to this space area, he had already forgotten about the combat mission. Because a singularity is in the deep nothingness in the range of hundreds of billions of kilometers ahead. A stable spatial singularity. Commander, that's a spatial singularity. A spatial singularity that is brewing and is ready to explode at any time. In an instant, the entire 17th Fleet's personnel were boiling. At this moment, none of them care about their original combat mission. Exaggerated. No, not exaggerating. People below the 5th level civilization do not understand the meaning of this singularity that is brewing and is ready to erupt at any time. After all, the singularity bomb of the 5th level civilization also caused a singularity, and then caused a black hole-like damage to the enemy. But this is not the same. The singularity of the singularity bomb, after it explodes, will create a black hole. And black holes are everywhere in the universe. At the very center of almost every star system is a massive black hole. The center of the Milky Way is a black hole, and the center of M87 galaxy is still a black hole. The black hole at the center of the star system is the key to the gravitational source that binds all the stars in the entire star system and gathers them into a complete star system. However, the singularity in front of him is different. It's not a black hole. After he explodes, it is likely to form one new little universe, a small universe with a range of only 100 billion kilometers. In this small universe, it will evolve its own physical rules on its own. Although these physical rules are likely to be affected by the rules of the big universe, they will eventually evolve into the same physical rules as the big universe. Maybe millions of years later, the new small universe will merge with the big universe. But it's not the results that matter. It's the process. The birth process of this small universe, the derivation and change of all the internal physical rules in the birth process of this small universe. This is the most important thing. And this is also the key to the 5th level civilization and the road to the 6th level civilization. Master the rules. The key to the 5th level civilization leading to the 6th level civilization. Immediately, the non-messiers of the entire 17th Main Fleet went crazy. How to upgrade the 5th level peak civilization to the 6th level civilization. It is to use the rules of the universe that they themselves do not understand very well, so that it breeds a new small universe. Then study how this new small universe was born, and master the derivation and change of physical rules from it. So as to master the physical rules of the universe. The birth and destruction of the small universe and the derivation and change of the physical rules inside the small universe are 2 points. The latter is the key for the 5th level civilization to enter the 6th level civilization. And if the former is really thoroughly researched, it is the key to entering the 7th level civilization. On the way to research, after mastering some physical rules, he entered the 6th level civilization. If you truly study the birth of the universe thoroughly, you will enter the 7th level civilization. The small universe, as well as the aforementioned source crystals that contain the rules of the real universe, are things that 6th level civilizations have been studying all their lives. Ha 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 ha, I didn't expect a small cosmic singularity to appear here. Now, our non-messier civilization can start the research on the microcosm in advance. I believe that in time, the door will be able to break through the shackles of the 5th level civilization and enter the 6th level civilization. This beautiful vision immersed the entire fleet in it. And from the time they jumped over to the discovery of the small cosmic singularity, it only happened in a very short moment. It is this moment zero. Qin Sheng's attack, here we come. A new small cosmic singularity is quietly born. In an instant, the void range of the broken space once again increased by 100 billion kilometers in diameter. Directly cover the 17th Fleet. The 17th Fleet certainly found this out. However, the 17th Fleet currently has more than 5,000 warships, and no one has moved. Commander, a new space tear and microcosmic singularity is born. The scope has covered all the battleships in our fleet at present. Do you want to evacuate? Evacuate? No. The commander shook his head decisively. What if the space fluctuations caused by the evacuation of our fleet interfere with the newly born small cosmic singularity? The key to our civilization's promotion to a 6th level civilization is all on this. We can't evacuate. Today, we can only sacrifice here. However, Commander, with this level of space tearing, there will be no physical rules left, and our thoughts cannot be transferred. Then let's usher in real death. True death. These words are as simple as eating and drinking. In the end, the 17th main fleet of the non-Messier civilization, with more than 5,000 warships, did not have any additional movements. All were destroyed in the space tearing caused by this small cosmic singularity. After the birth of the new small cosmic singularity, it began to change rapidly. 5.2. Two small cosmic singularities, within the range of 200 billion kilometers, are so close together that they influence each other. Begin to rotate each other and approach. It's like two gyroscopes, spinning faster and faster. Finally surpass the trillion revolutions per second. The two finally collide. Huge energy burst out. The area covered by it exceeds 1,000 light years. Countless stars, planets, turned into nothingness. The two eventually disappeared, and no new microcosm was born. After all, whether a new microcosm can be born is just a matter of probability. As for Qin Shang, after the attack was completed, he immediately activated the system's transmission authority and left immediately. At this moment, Qin Shang, with the help of the system's transmission, has crossed 400 million light years and came to an unfamiliar galaxy. 37%. Chapter 178 Human beings 400 million light years away. Subscription. You get the technical value, 2,450 billion. 1. 10,000 times increase. You have acquired technical value, 245 trillion. Converting to dimension source point. Congratulations, you have obtained 2,450 dimensional source points. The existing dimension source point is 2,474.5 points. Congratulations, you have obtained a new level 5 civilization technology, the fast space transition system of the star system. Congratulations, you have obtained a new 5th level civilization technology, vacuum 0-point energy prototype. 10,000 times increase. The fast space transition system of the star system has been increased to the subspace transition system. Warp space transition system. Outside the real three-dimensional universe, there are countless other spaces, some of which are gaps and interlayers derived from the real universe. Some are completely other parallel universes because of the curvature of space-time, which causes gravity to pass through the real three-dimensional universe and create other spaces. There is also the chaotic subspace of O1. This system allows the fleet to break the space blockade when faced with the enemy's space blockade and escape into the subspace for navigation. Afterwards, it will return to the unblocked real space position in the universe. Please note that there are incomparable dangers in the warp. If there is no corresponding mental and thought protection, simply entering the warp will cause all members to degenerate into demons. In addition, there are endless unknown dangers and endless warp demons in the warp. The vacuum 0-point energy prototype has been increased to stabilize the vacuum 0-point energy from the reactor energy supply system. This energy supply system is a stable shipborne 0-point energy reactor functional system. After the device is installed on the battleship, unless it falls into nothingness without the rules of the physical universe, there will be no need for additional energy supply. After Qin Shang sent it, the system prompt sounded in his ears. It looks like the attack has worked. Qin Shang was very happy. But this time he won't get much new technology. A large number of duplicate technologies have been acquired by him, and only the above 2 new technologies are available. Rescan your surroundings. Qin Shang knew that this was a whole new universe. But it still looks nothing new. After all, space always looks the same. Although the stars and the Milky Way as the background are beautiful, Qin Shang should be tired of watching it for so many years. The next moment, Qin Shang heard a new system prompt. You have arrived in the Fringe Galaxy division within the Laniakea Super Complex. This competition area is about 400 million light-years from the Virgo supercluster. The game is in progress. As an outsider invader, please grab the rewards of the current competition area. Hearing the sound of the Shanghai game system, Qin Shang opened the star map of the current galaxy that was sent to him synchronously. The star map shows the current state of the galaxy. All in all, this is a competition area that is much larger than the Virgo star cluster. 1,000 light-years in diameter. However, the number of participating civilizations is less than 10,000. Sure enough, because of the remote competition area, there are not many players who are qualified to participate in the civilization tournament. These participating player civilizations are basically third-level civilizations. None reached level 4. This is also normal. After all, apart from chaos or human interference, it is almost impossible to reach the fourth-level civilization by relying on the normal efforts of the players at this stage. After running for 400 million light-years at once, such a long distance, this is really considered to be leaving home. Qin Sheng sighed with emotion. Speaking of home, the remote planet of the Milky Way's Orion Cantilever, Earth, is a well-deserved home for Qin Sheng and the rest of humanity. The Earth is gone, with Qin Sheng's sight getting farther and farther away, after leaving the Milky Way. The Milky Way has become Qin Sheng's well-deserved hometown. After leaving the Andromeda Galaxy group and the Virgo cluster, Qin Sheng really left the famous star field he knew. I came to this unnamed star field 400 million light-years away from the Virgo supercluster of galaxies. Just when Qin Sheng sighed with emotion, by the way, he was investigating the state of this galaxy. All player civilizations in this galaxy's competition area have received the notification from the system. Civilization notice for participating in the entire competition area. From the Virgo super galaxy cluster 400 million light-years away, the player civilization of the Fairy Galaxy group, the Dakan Empire, entered this competition area as an extra system invader. Also, please protect the rewards of this division, players. External intruder. Is it the victorious player in another region? For a time, all player civilizations felt troublesome. Originally, the situation in their division was very anxious. Players form alliances one after another based on the similarity in appearance of each race. Attack each other. The war was very fierce. And now, suddenly an extra system intruder came. How does this make decisions among the various players who have already made fire? Is it to form a unified line of defense and turn the muzzle to deal with the invaders from outside the system, or continue to fight each other and decide the winner before the invaders from outside the system finally attack? The players have 560 different choices. Some alliances of players who were at war soon reached an agreement to suspend disputes and defend against foreign invaders. But there is still a scorching war between a small number of player civilizations. Among them is such a player civilization, which is being attacked by several player civilizations. Is struggling to support. Führer. The 2,000 warships of the 14th Defense Line have lost 70% of the battle, and the defense line is about to be broken through. Führer. The 15th Line of defense is struggling to support the attack of the two civilized fleets, and they will soon be unable to support it. On the main planet of the besieged civilization, the head of civilization listened to the extremely urgent military intelligence reports ringing in his ears, and his heart was anxious. In this case, the civilizations outside the system are about to invade, and these civilizations are still besieging him. He ignored the multiple contact requests made by him. The head of civilization sighed and took off the closed power helmet, revealing a very standard face with 3 quarters and 5 eyes. We humans are so disliked by these races. Humanity. The head of this civilization is a human being, and in appearance, it is no different from the Earth people. How can humans appear in a distant galaxy more than 400 million light-years away from the Milky Way? 1. 37%. Chapter 179. Just wipe out all these alien civilizations. Subscription. If Qin Sheng saw him at this moment, he would definitely be surprised. This is an unknown star field more than 400 million light-years away from the Virgo star cluster, on the edge of the Laniakea supergalactic complex. In the Milky Way, apart from the Dakan Empire, no other human players participated. How can there be humans here? Apart from the fact that the head of state is a human being, the subordinates of this head of state are also all human beings. They are from a star system some 60 million light-years away from this one. As the top player civilization in that star system, they signed up to participate in this civilization competition. But they didn't expect that just after they were teleported to this competition area, they were targeted by the civilization of other races. As mentioned before, the players in this competition area form alliances between player civilizations according to the form of their own races, and cooperate or attack each other. What is extremely special is that, except for human players, the rest of the civilizations from other star systems are basically not in human form, but all kinds of strange forms. In this case, the human race looks as disgusting as insects in the different aesthetic concepts of other civilizations. Naturally, human players are naturally hostile here. After the start of the game, a player civilization with the most extreme ideology and racial ideology that naturally discriminates against the human race will take the lead. They began to lay siege to the human player civilization in this division. Even if the system announced the arrival of intruders from outside the system, they did not stop attacking. But it is bound to destroy this human race that looks disgusting in their opinion. Prosperous Commonwealth. It is the name of this human player civilization. And at this moment, when the Prosperous Federation was losing ground on the frontal battlefield, a meeting of several players is starting. These players are the alien player civilizations who joined forces to attack the Prosperous Federation. The racial form differences between these alien player civilizations are not too big, they are all insect forms. The planets they came from all have one thing in common. That is, the oxygen content is very high, so their bodies are huge. An insect alien player with a body length of more than 3 meters, like a turtle, checked the announcement of the system again, and said, "There is an intruder from outside the department entering the competition area." Quote, "Are we still going on the offensive? What does this have to do with us?" Another alien player with a similar appearance to a praying mantis and a height of about 2 meters twisted his triangular head and said, "But according to the general situation, when there is an intruder outside the system, shouldn't we unite all other forces that can be united, put aside the dispute, and resolve what the intruder is talking about first?" The alien player who looked like a turtle said. But the next moment, a white light flashed, and the blade sank into the alloy table in front of him, making a sharp noise and rubbing sparks. The mantis alien player said with great disgust, "You want me to be in alliance with the human race that looks extremely disgusting? Impossible. Our civilization's consistent approach to this kind of civilization whose appearance is not our race is to completely exterminate them. The civilization of this mantis alien player is undoubtedly the most powerful among these civilizations, and several other player civilizations dare not object. In fact, it's nothing, isn't it, just exterminating a civilization of other races? This is nothing, and the invaders from outside the system are not necessarily around them." Just when all the insects thought so, suddenly, they received an extremely urgent military intelligence report. "Lord Archon, our main star was suddenly attacked by an unknown force. Their fleet is too powerful, and the guard fleet of the main star has been completely destroyed. The main star has also been destroyed." A sudden voice sounded in this conference room through remote communication. All the insect alien players present were shocked. What happened? What happened? The sudden destruction of their home planet. It's an outsider intruder. The alien-like player suddenly howled. Just here, the fleet where these alien players are located is not far from the space area of about 10 million kilometers. The light hole portal of the space warp opens. A fleet of about 10 warships sailed out of it. Compared with the fleets of other alien players, the number of this fleet can be said to be pitiful. But as soon as this fleet appeared, it showed incomparably powerful firepower. The densely packed light spears and missile arrays on the battleship opened fire. The dense array of lances instantly ran through the alien fleet of players parked in space. Even the smallest light spear among them can easily penetrate the energy shield and armor of the alien player's battleship, accurately hit the engine area and destroy the entire warship in one hit. This is one of the countless squadrons sent by the Dakan Empire. In this competition area, the highest level is only the 3rd level alien player civilization, and the weakest battleship of the Dakan Empire can easily kill them. If not all the stars of the Dakan Empire were destroyed in the battle with the Virgo star March 5, the May-January fleet, Qin Sheng would not even need these fleets. But the neutron war stars were all destroyed, and now Qin Sheng has no time to search for the neutron stars again to build. Therefore, the only way is to disperse the fleet in this way and send it out in large numbers to achieve the goal of destroying all player civilizations in this 1,000 light-year diameter competition area with the highest efficiency. Qin Sheng is currently in the bridge of his new flagship, a comprehensive battle cruiser formerly known as the Yongle Emperor class, that has been upgraded with 5-level technology. "Your Majesty, something unexpected happened. A virtual image appeared, and Wang Li's, with blonde hair and a single ponytail appeared in front of Qin Sheng. What's the situation?" Qin Sheng looked over. "That's it, one of our squadrons received a thank you communication from a civilization after destroying several alien civilization fleets. It seems that those alien civilizations are besieging them." Qin Sheng heard the words and said, "What kind of emergency is the communication of thanks from the alien civilization? It would be good if they were all wiped out. But the problem is, His Majesty the Emperor, the civilization that sent the thank you communication is not an alien civilization. From the outside, they are human. Humans with the same physical features as us. Ella's always carefree temperament is now in trouble," she said. "What? Humanity?" This time it was Qin Sheng's turn to be stunned. In this remote star field more than 400 million light-years away from the Virgo star cluster and more than 400 million light-years away from the Milky Way, are there humans? 37%. Chapter 180 Creation of Human Beings. Ancient Secrets. Subscription. Qin Sheng couldn't help frowning and said, "Are you sure you're a human? Your Majesty, although it is impossible to distinguish their internal structure and genes, they are exactly the same as humans in terms of appearance." Ella replied. This time Qin Sheng couldn't help but think. In a star field more than 400 million light-years away from the Milky Way, a human identical to the Earth was found. Is it possible? From the perspective of the macro-universe, there is a probability that two identical species will naturally evolve in different galaxies. But this probability cannot be said to be non-existent, it can only be said to be almost zero. There are indeed infinite possibilities in the universe. After all, this universe is huge enough that even a thing with almost zero probability may be happening somewhere in the universe. Make arrangements, I want to meet these people. Qin Sheng stood up and said. At this moment just now, Qin Sheng's mind had calculated countless possible situations. Those humans may have evolved naturally. It may also be deliberately tuned by humans. More likely, this is a conspiracy set up by Chaos Zinch forces against him. But, no matter what kind of possibility, Qin Sheng had to investigate. For Qin Sheng at this moment, any existence that borrows the 560th human being to perform those things that he does not allow will be eliminated by him. Because Qin Sheng is the emperor of the Qin Empire and the lord of the human race in the galaxy. And the forces of chaos. Qin Sheng is not afraid of the forces of chaos at all, and has never been afraid of it. If it is a chaotic force that exists beyond the 5th level, then there is no need to play these methods at all, just kill him Qin Sheng directly. And if it is a chaotic force below the 5th level, it is a ghost. Then wait for Qin Sheng to be completely wiped out. Qin Sheng's flagship came to the planet in person. From the appearance of this planet, it is a terrestrial planet with an ocean covering about 70%. Similar to Earth. But Qin Sheng won't do any research on this planet. Because Qin Sheng knew that this planet was in this competition area, the Shanghai game system was temporarily created to hold the civilization competition here. Not the home planet of this galaxy's human beings. 27 kilometers of giant warships are anchored in the planet's near geosynchronous orbit. The Emperor's flagship is unusual, as if its natural appearance makes other human battleships above the planet's low Earth orbit dare not approach. The warship is moored here, not moving at all. In the bridge of the ship, Qin Sheng stood with his hands behind his back, looking at the blue planet in front of him, which seemed to be close at hand and somewhat similar to the Earth. The human head of the Prosperous Federation is dealing with a series of post-war affairs, and is meeting with other cabinet members of the Federation. As a hands-on, dedicated head of state, he is very conscientious. Extremely busy. At this time, an officer who was personally guarding received the news, rushed in a panic, and said to the prosperous head of state, "The head of state. There is a warship moored in the near geosynchronous orbit of our planet, and it does not move. Looking at the appearance of the battleship, it seems that it is the one that wiped out other alien civilizations and rescued our civilization." What? When the head of the prosperous state heard the words, even when he stood up and didn't even care about his work, he said, "Did they send communications like us?" "No, Führer, no communication has been received." Also, the head of state. The guard officer in front of him was a little hesitant. "If you have something to say, just say it." The head of the prosperous is a straight-minded person, and it is difficult to see that he can't speak clearly. "Führer, they seem to be foreign invaders. External intruder." Hearing this, the other human members of the cabinet suddenly changed their faces. My God, other alien civilizations in this galaxy are already so terrifying. How cruel ABFC should the foreign invaders be? Those who are not of our race will have different hearts. Although they saved us, they may have other plans. The cabinet members were suddenly a little scared. As soon as they came to this galaxy, they were caught in a war with aliens, and they could not stop for a while until now. Those alien races in this galaxy are really scary enough. And how terrifying is the alien invaders who wiped out several alien civilizations in an instant. Prosperous Show also thought of this, but he still bit him and said, "They stopped in low Earth orbit and did not move, probably waiting for us to see him." Quote, "I don't know if they had other plans, but I know they saved us. You don't move. I will go to see them alone, so even if there is any danger, I will be in danger alone, and you can prepare in advance." 1. The prosperous head of state did not allow anyone to refuse to finish a sentence. It is to ignore other people's objections and walk out. In this starry sky, countless alien races are so terrifying. The prosperous head of state was riding in the spaceship inside on the way to the 27-kilometer-long giant battleship. At the same time, I kept thinking about what the people of different civilizations that I would meet might look like. For a time, all kinds of strange monster images appeared in his mind. But these images all dissipated at the moment of seeing Qin Sheng. What left him was only infinite shock. The young man in front of him was tall and handsome. The stalwart figure is like the sun, exuding warm rays of light all over his body. For a moment, the prosperous head of state seemed to have seen a god. A stalwart, the great and radiant image of the figure standing in the endless dazzling sun naturally emerged in his mind. God, God, the head of the prosperous state could not help but bow down to Qin Sheng. And Qin Sheng frowned slightly after seeing the prosperous head of state. Just now, his psionic energy actively scanned the human being in front of him. The result is discovery. Exactly the same. The internal structure of the body, every cell in the body, has 23 pairs of chromosomes, including 22 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. There are about 3.16 billion DNA bases in the genome. All of them are the same as the Earthlings. Just like, it's as if it was made by the same creator as Earth humans. The creator. Qin Sheng's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that the human beings on Earth were created by an ancient civilization in a certain galaxy, and then that ancient civilization left the galaxy and came to this star field, and created the same human beings? What's the secret behind this? And beings. What's the secret behind this? And beings.